Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Backlog Podcast. I am your co-host, Kel. Wait. Start. Hello, everybody. I am one of your co-hosts, Kel. Welcome to the Backlog Podcast, where we talk about, gaming, movies, shows, with the occasional tangent and a particular focus on superhero content and things of that sort. This will be my other co-host.
I'm Malachi, and my tongue is blue.
His tongue is blue today, guys.
Yep, that's how I'm feeling.
Personally, I think that's kind of weird, but let's get right into it.
All right, man. So today's episode is about Obsession. Mostly Obsession. We're going to get into Maul later, the show, Rise of Maul.
Are we starting with Obsession? I thought we started with Maul.
No, Maul the Dark Lord. Yeah, we'll start with Obsession first, and then we'll go into Maul the Dark Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me flip this up.
All right.
All right. So, first, I'm sure you guys, if you've watched our previous episodes.
Yeah, we're a little tardy to the party, I can't lie, but it's all good.
He's a little tardy to the party.
I'm tardy to the party, bro.
I've
been so busy.
Obsession, but I got straight into it after that.
That's valid. That's valid.
Busy. But,
I watched it yesterday, last night. Last night was my birthday, by the way, so happy birthday
belated
to me.
To this guy?
The big 2-5. Good Lord, I'm on my way out. But, yes, I watched it last night, and dude, I can't believe I haven't seen this film sooner. It's just such a masterpiece when it comes to being scary without relying on jump scares so heavily like other films have. It's become such a trope with the jump scares, the overly grotesque nature of a lot of the horror films, a lot of the weird, just they just try to go in a weirder direction rather than an actually I don't know, it's almost unsettling rather than just jump scary or gross. You know what I mean? And it has some gross moments.
It's scary, but not because it's oh, wouldn't you be terrified of that?
Yes.
No, it's just disturbing.
Bro, there was moments in this movie where I'm like, dude, if I was in his position,
what would I do?
I'd be pissing myself. There's no way, bro. It was just, it's I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into it very soon. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty details of Obsession.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're way more comfy this
yes
time, a lot lower to the ground. We got
small upgrades.
Yeah,
we got to figure that out. We're actually laying on the ground. But, these are much more comfortable chairs, so we're gonna do
at some point we'll be more elevated in them as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get some better lighting, get some better backgrounds for y'all. It's gonna be very nice. Get some decorations up. We're both nerds, so we're gonna have a bunch of nerd stuff in the background. It's gonna be great.
It'll be cool.
Hey, if you want, leave some recommendations for what you want to see in the background for us.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to take any recommendations. But anyway, all right, back to Obsession. Let's get into it.
Indeed.
All right, tap in.
Yeah. So I'm sure you guys remember from the previous episodes. I was real enthusiastic about getting around to this one.
Rightfully so.
Exactly. I guess ever since watching the movie, I've been just kind of just consuming content around it, man. A lot of the actors and actresses in the movie have now become favorites of mine. Obviously, Indy Navarrete.
Bro, she's so great, man. I can't believe she pulled off a performance of that magnitude. That was an Oscar. I hope she gets a reward. I hope she gets some type of reward.
They'll hear from me.
Yeah,
man.
It's insane. I honestly have never, outside of maybe some stuff in Breaking Bad, I've not seen acting that good in a long time.
She was kind of playing three different characters.
Yes, she really was. In the beginning, she was playing kind of herself, obviously, Nikki, the actual Nikki, and then halfway through, she was playing, for most of the movie, she was playing as that demonic version of herself.
I like to call her Freaky Nikki to kind of distinguish between the two, especially
such a crazy thing to say.
It is,
yeah.
but she did claim the nickname. I feel like it
she did claim it. She did claim it.
Nikki
and then
Nikki.
Jumping between them, she did such a good job of jumping between their personalities. It reminded me of Split. Yeah. But almost better. It felt better than Split because it was so convincing. Exactly. You could tell exactly when she snapped back to her normal self. Her expressions changed immediately. Her mannerisms changed. Bro, her mannerisms throughout the movie while she was possessed was so crazy. Man. Just seeing her move was unsettling.
Honestly, kind of like you touched on a minute ago. It's Nikki, despite her being I don't know what 115-pound.
Bro, she was intimidating, dog.
Dude, she scares me more than anything I've seen in a horror movie in a very long time.
No, for real.
Because, why are you moving like that, bro? Why are you in darkness?
I want to talk about a couple of things that I think that the film did that was so clever.
Yeah.
One being the way that they introduce objects that will be relevant later, and they foreshadowed them so well.
Oh, yeah.
The Oxy being in the first thing in the film with the cat.
literal Chekhov's gun.
Yes, exactly. It's so interesting to me. It's like, dang, that came back at the very end of the
I didn't think
film,
that was gonna come back.
which is so crazy.
Nor the gun.
Yeah, I think it's a little late for like the non-spoiler section stuff. I think we just get right into like the spoiler stuff.
If you haven't seen this movie, I'll give you one last chance because we didn't say too much. Please do not do yourself the disservice of watching this before watching the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Do
first.
not be like him.
Go in
Watch
blind.
this
Go
movie
in
as soon
blind.
as
I went in
possible.
blind. I
Go
was
in blind.
pleased.
You gotta go
I
in
was
blind,
thoroughly
man.
pleased.
But
yeah.
you have been warned. Spoilers from here on.
Yeah, from here on out, we're going spoilers.
Come
so
back to us after you've seen it, though.
yeah,
We'll
don't
miss you.
They won't.
Oh,
Maybe they will.
maybe they will. Hopefully
We'll
they
see.
will.
I hope so.
Or they'll hear me like, "Why don't you love me?"
That was so, dude. The way
Man.
that okay, another thing that I want to talk about, especially with this film, is the way that they used audio to instill an unsettling mood, dude.
Yeah.
Like the director. I don't know who directed this film,
Curry Barker.
bro. Goated. Like you're
Him
goated.
and, him and the actor of Ian, his name is Cooper Tomlinson.
Uh-huh.
Basically, those two before this movie mostly were just like a comedy duo on YouTube.
Okay.
They just made like skits and crap.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And now look at them.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll make a movie.
Eh?
No, it might
I'll
be
have written it.
low
He can act
key.
in it.
I'm an okay actor. I took a couple acting classes. That's another quick little lore drop. Lore drop. I was in acting classes in middle school. That's real. That's real.
It's funny. I did think about like acting at one point, but I was like, I don't know if I'm actually good
Yeah.
at that.
I've
I
lived
don't
so
know
much
what
life. I feel like I've done so many things.
I'd say I've done a pretty good amount of things.
Yeah, like I was like captain of a robotics team at one point. Isn't that such a random thing?
And
like
then also like on the football team, like
I was a
high
captain on the
schoolers have
football
done
team
both of those
too.
things.
Yeah, I know, that's so
like,
crazy.
dude, who here has heard of someone who's robotics and football? You're like,
Yeah.
like
And
that's-
wrestling and track.
I didn't even know.
I was garbage at wrestling though. Real spill. I made it. You know what's crazy? This is a tangent.
We are going on.
Yeah, no, we are going on a tangent. But okay, no, literally,
But
I made it
promise,
to
once we're into the good
sectionals.
stuff, we're gonna be into
Yeah, we will. But just 1 second, I got to get this off.
it. Lord drop.
I made it to sectionals, which is past regionals in wrestling,
Yeah.
purely by lack of competition. I'm not joking. I genuinely got into sectionals because there was no one else to get in. Like it was only 4 of us, and there was 4 slots. So anyway, okay. I was letting you know I'm garbage. I know a couple things, but I'm lucky trash. But it's okay.
Hey, I don't even wrestle for real.
You did join
I
wrestling.
did. That's the funny thing. So I joined for a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone just smelled too bad for me
Yeah.
to keep going. But it really.
I smoked his pack and he quit.
What really happened was one day there was a meet on a Saturday at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I forget exactly when I arrived, but it was close enough. But I arrived and no one was there, and like it was already some scheduling conflicts, and just like standing
Ooh.
around waiting, and then no one showing up. I just got frustrated and was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Screw this.
Yeah,
I was
it's
already on the
already
drum
gone,
line. I was committed to that.
Anyway, okay, yeah. Back to Obsession. Let's get back in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was,
first, well, if you that's kind of like all your immediate reactions. I got some questions because
Yeah, go ahead.
Since,
Yeah,
since
go ahead.
seeing the movie, I guess you could say I'm fixated.
Oh,
Look at
bro.
that. But nah.
Get a load of this guy.
I was gonna say it, but I've been hearing that everywhere. I thought it was
Okay.
something original I came up with, but everyone was like, "I'm obsessed with Obsession." And I'm
That's so.
like, nah, I don't
yeah.
feel cool for
All
saying.
right.
That.
Yeah.
But
It has not been on my timeline until I'm not
somehow
gonna lie.
it wasn't on mine either until I saw it.
It was like the memes were like when it first came out. I saw a couple memes. I didn't understand them
didn't
because
see
I didn't
a
see the
thing.
film. I just saw the memes of like her frowning. I saw a bunch of those. That meme format was like used to death for like a week though, and then it just kind of went away.
You know what's nutty is like literally I think I only after I saw the movie, which was like at least 2 weeks, like a week or two after it came out, started seeing like memes of it and stuff like that. And before that, I literally didn't even know anything about it. I just heard people saying, "Oh, Obsession's a great movie. It looks like it'll be
Yeah.
really interesting. Check it out." And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it's funny because last kind of experience I had with a movie that felt similar to that, but now that I've seen Obsession is wildly different. As a kid, I watched this movie called Obsessed, starring Idris Elba and Beyonce. It came out in 2009. Basically, Idris Elba, I forget what he's doing. He's on like some work trip or whatever. He's obviously with Beyonce. And this lady like develops a thing for him, and it's just your typical like she's crazy for him, but he's got a girlfriend, fiance type of thing. And so I don't know. I didn't think it was like a sequel or anything, but that was all I thought of it. So I was like, sure, maybe it'll be better, but I don't care.
So you went in without the hype. You went in before the hype.
No, like literally, I went in just like, oh, this will be interesting. It's actually hilarious how it happened because like, basically, I was hanging out with my cousins at one point, and one of them was just like, "You guys want to watch Obsession?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I've been hearing about it, and like, not 30 minutes into the movie, we're all like loud in front of the TV, like, "Bro!"
Yeah.
So Yeah, it took us by storm there.
I got the theatrical experience of that
I bet
film
that's different.
is different, bro.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
audio is used in such a
Well, not
beautiful
even
way,
I
bro.
did see it in theaters after that.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna
like,
say,
yeah.
do you think seeing it in theaters was better?
Yes,
It was more impactful.
absolutely.
Dude, the
like,
audio.
the audio, and also like getting realizing that some of these scenes have a room full of people just like shut up because of how crazy it is.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
Not for real. It's actually okay. What was the most shocking part of the film for you?
Oh, that's funny. That was one of my questions.
Okay,
Most shocking, man. There was some shock in there. In terms of just like,
I can go first.
yeah, go ahead.
I think the most okay, not even shocking, but just like the most unexpected was when it first started getting creepy. When he went to bed the first time, or like they had a little montage,
actually,
and then it started getting weird. And he went to bed, and he woke up, and he's looking around. And she's in the corner, and I didn't see her on the screen.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was just me because that was the moment I realized that I was afraid of Nikki because, like, I don't know. The fact that I can't notice something happening is like it stands out to me because like I actually pick up on details pretty well in movies. So like in my head, that was the moment I was like, she could have killed me.
Yeah.
If she were a leopard, she would have killed me. You know, you ever see those memes? But like, yeah, if she'd been lurking,
memes, but
shut up. If she'd been lurking in my room like that, she could have literally murdered me, and I'd have had no idea.
Dude, it's
none the wiser.
Yeah, that was a crazy part. I can't like when she like walked out and she's like moving weird, bro.
Like, scuttled she did.
Oh
man.
my god,
that one
dude.
got me. That one got me.
I think the most interesting thing to me, maybe not the most interesting, but one of the most interesting things to me was trying to define the possessed version of Nikki's mindset and what her motives were.
And that's one of my like biggest kind of focuses since this movie's come out. So I'm gonna let you give yours, and then I got a whole like spiel.
I couldn't tell. Like it was random. Like it was okay. I think it was the possessed, like you said, freaky Nikki, trying to emulate actual Nikki with some memories and like it's like a body snatcher thing, and it got better at maintaining control over time.
Oh yeah,
because remember she was like jumping in, like she was kind of jumping in and out at first.
Frequent.
Yes, and that became less frequent because she was strong. She was essentially getting more of a hold. But I think that her true nature started to come out, like in those like little like weird
like the true nature of freaky Nikki.
Yes, exactly. I think like she was trying her best to like serve her purpose,
to mask it.
but her actual nature was starting to like come out, and I don't know what she is.
And that's the interesting thing. That's actually a question I was gonna ask sooner or later. So let's jump right on into that one. So, initially, you know, I was just like I figured it was kind of like your typical, because we've all seen the plot line before. You know, someone wishes for someone to love them, and it's usually treated as it just driving that person mad with love. You know, same personality, they're just nutty. Maybe they don't remember when it's over for convenience sake. But and that was initially what I thought until the call with the one which Willow got on the phone. Which, fun fact, that was Curry Barker talking.
Oh, nice. Okay. I have a theory of like who that is on the phone.
Go for it.
No, I'm gonna let you go first. I'll say it later.
Yeah, are you sure? Because
no, go ahead.
Okay, so because whatever. So when Curry Barker is talking to him on the phone, and you hear just like the first thing that came to my mind was like screams of the damned when Nikki's back on the phone. Like, she is clearly in agony. When he is like, do you want to talk to her? And so at that point in my head, I'm like, oh, so a demon came from hell and possessed Nikki. And then I'm like, wait, why is this demon doing the job of loving Bear? And I'm like, well, I guess when you live in hell, you'll do whatever it takes to get out.
Valid.
But as time went on, I was kind of like, I don't think that's it. And then actually, like I said, I dived like headfirst into the content around this movie afterward. And in interviews and whatnot, man, there's a ton of interesting stuff in the interviews that actually kind of like adds even more to it for me. But one thing was that Curry Barker actually said she's not possessed by a demon. This isn't a possession story per se. And that kind of shaped what my concept of what Freaky Nikki is. So here's my kind of whole theory, right?
Okay.
My idea is that kind of, how do I put this? Nikki, or Freaky Nikki, is just like a new soul or personality
Okay.
just created, right?
Okay.
Like, I feel like you can't even call her a complete being because she doesn't have a physical existence of her own.
Okay.
Literally just like I
Like
guess
a
like a
created
second
alter
save
ego?
file. Exactly, a created
Yeah.
alter ego, like a second save file on the physical drive, quote unquote, that is Nikki. Because
But why was Nikki's soul then like in agony?
basically I kind of look at it kind of like the sunken place from Get Out, but way more painful.
Okay.
Like, she's in there, way in the back. She can sense things that's happening
Yes.
because she relays a few times when she does get control of her body that, you know, she knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But she's just stuck somewhere deep below the surface, and clearly being that way is extremely painful.
Okay.
And that's kind of my thoughts of it. And I
But
really think
she
this,
has to go somewhere else because the man on the phone has her.
like and I think that's what I was saying. I think that's like the sunken place. But like, since I'm not sure how it works per se, but I think that he's basically able to like reach into that sunken place kind of thing.
Okay.
To get her, like, not get her, but, you know,
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
some audio of like, yeah, this is her right now. This is what you're doing to her.
Mhm.
But yeah, with that being said, I actually think, and I feel like a lot of people don't pick up on this. To me, Freaky Nikki actually also has a character arc through the movie.
Okay.
And I don't think it's necessarily just her nature being revealed. I think her nature is almost apparent, and maybe even more apparent from the kind of get-go. Like, so, both something I thought in the movie and something I kind of saw reflected in someone's video where it was like, oh, Obsession is actually anti-AI, which was actually, I was like, how?
Yeah. What?
But I actually clicked on the video and I heard them out for one reason, and that was because I was thinking about that. Remember during the little montage when everything's still cool between them, she shows Bear that weird AI generated like couple.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, the caption is, "I want to wear your skin like a sweater." And
Yeah.
How he didn't see that as a red flag, I don't know.
Bro, he doesn't see anything in this film, dude. He's like the least communicative person. That irked my soul, dude. You just tell anybody and the movie's over. Like, maybe not over, but like things get better.
Things get better.
Yes.
And that's a whole nother thing I cannot wait to get around to.
He's such a chud, bro.
He is that. Now that one, that's undebatable. Chud Master 9000 right there. Like,
oh my god.
Oh my god, dude. But to not just kind of throw stones at Bear, I will actually say
I'm throwing all the stones. I'm throwing boulders. I'm
throw
launching
the stones, but like
mountains at him, bro.
I'm gonna throw the stones with some like baggage in my head when I do, because I'll be honest. Up until the moment Bear makes the wish, and I'm gonna explain why it stops there, because it's not just, oh, I wouldn't do that, but no, up until Bear makes the wish, genuinely, he reminds me a lot of myself. And honestly, that's one of the most disturbing parts of watching this movie for me, because I am a shy guy. Honestly, I know I don't seem like it here. Maybe I do. Maybe you're good at reading people. But yeah. And in fact, not only does Bear remind me of myself, but his situation with Nikki actually reminds me a ton of a situation I had with someone I knew. Now, luckily, there was no magic involved. Luckily, funny enough, I was attracted to her, but I didn't have a crush on her.
But is that a wish you would even make if magic was involved?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And here's why. Because I believe you were there for this part of the lore. It's a different story. Not the people who Bear and Nikki remind me of, but back in like middle school, granted, like I was in middle school, so you know, like
you were a child, not a grown man.
I was a child and not an adult.
I think Bear in this film was 22, like 23 maybe.
Somewhere around there, clearly. But yeah, I did in fact have that whole like, oh, I wish this girl like. Well, no, it wasn't that per se, but I could have seen myself going that way.
Yeah.
But basically, I discovered what a magic 8-ball was around that time, and I asked it, oh, was I gonna marry the girl of my dreams? And I believe it said yes. It had to have, because I started like buying into that idea.
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, I had a dream about a classmate of ours. I believe you remember me telling you
I do remember this lore. Yes.
It led into one of the most embarrassing periods of my life.
Hey, bro, he shot a shot from the moon. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all ever seen that meme with Curry diving for the ball in this?
He's diving for the ball like it's an arrow backwards.
It's an arrow backwards.
Oh my god.
That was Kel shooting from beyond the arc. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Again, up to the point of the wishes, I can't even lie. Bear really just a younger me for real. Like,
yeah.
It was bad. But so yeah, I could have seen myself making a wish like that. But where I would say the difference is drawn, it's not even so much at making the wish or this and that. But as soon as he made the wish, first time viewing the movie, I was like, why'd you word it that way? like, why do you want to be loved more?
He
than
didn't think
anything
it was
else in
gonna
the
work
world?
though.
No, absolutely. But like, even when I was, younger, probably making wishes like this, probably
Yeah.
not. I never worded them that way because I've never had the desire to be like the center of someone's world. Like, even
I think he worded it that way because of the argument they just had, and it was already emotionally driven. So his
yeah.
emotions were heightened in the moment
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
So I think if he was being rational at the time, he wouldn't even said anything like that. But I think he said it like that because of the argument they just had. It was sarcastic.
I do feel that way, but at the same time, it's like kind of. I'm gonna get into this more later, but with just the more things progress and how things go throughout the movie, I feel like deep down that is what he wants. Like, absolutely, he was in a high.
Do you think there would have been like a different version of her, a more chill version of her, if he didn't word it that way?
I think about that a lot, and I wonder if it would work. And
I don't think so.
yeah, I'm like, honestly, I think even
I think doing something like that just spawns this ego, this
like,
alter
even
ego.
if I hypothetically
and
made
it's just
a
evil.
different version of the wish or whatever, it probably would still go to crap, and hopefully, it wouldn't end in the deaths of everyone I know, including myself, and the trauma of this poor girl. But yeah, I was just like, why do you want to be the center of someone's world like that? And like I said, I'll explain later why. Other things he does make me think that he did actually kind of desire that deep down.
Okay.
Because he's got like a distorted concept of love to begin with. And I think one quick little tangent I'll go on, because it is relevant to the subject still, is the conversation that him and Nikki had before that about the difference between a romance and a love story is great.
Okay.
Like, I didn't realize it on my first viewing, but like, Nikki, I feel like in a subtle way, Nikki pretty much gave us the message of the movie and even like told us like she understand. Like, to me, that made the point that like we know after that conversation, Nikki would not fall into the same trap that Bear did in making a wish like that at all.
Yeah, of course.
Because like she says, romance, it's like, look in the romance genre. It's about the fantasy, right? Like, I hope we've all seen our share of romance, and we all know that that's not how that's supposed to work. Loving someone doesn't go that way. Loving someone is, you and them committing to work with each other, deal with your flaws. It's not this kind of permanently rose-colored, every interaction is like magic. It's not that, you don't, hopefully you don't have to put your life on the line for them. But, yeah, that shouldn't really be a subject that kind of regularly comes up. But, where was I before that?
You were talking about the conversation they had before and how it kind of relates to
Nikki
the message
down,
of the movie.
Like, the difference between a love story and a romance proper. But I mean, like, before that, though. I believe I was just talking about the wish Bear made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had this drive to kind of be the center of someone's world. But beyond that, though, like I said, Bear was a lot like me, shy, couldn't really,
But just because he's shy doesn't mean that you don't have that kind of like
the shyness doesn't make you a
neglect
bad person.
for someone else's well-being. That's what he had.
Absolutely, and that neglect for someone else's well-being is why I think it's like he wanted to be the center of her world, because as the movie goes on, he becomes increasingly selfish to me. And like I said,
yes,
we're gonna spin back around to that. But I remember this whole thread of conversation started with my theory about what Freaky Nikki is, right? So like I said, I think with that whole anti-AI tangent being in mind, like,
what was that about?
I believe the video is basically kind of saying some things about like how, if you kind of notice, especially in the first conversation and really in general with her behavior, like she kind of has these moments where you can see her like rebooting in real time when she does something that Bear or someone else doesn't think is right or normal, and she tries to like course correct. Like, it is kind of AI like, and I think basically my concept is that she is like the human version of an AI, right?
Okay.
Because I actually see Freaky Nikki as basically being like a new human soul. Like, really nothing distinguishes her from being a human being other than two things, right?
Yeah.
Two things that absolutely break her and make her become what she becomes. One being that she exists to have one personality trait, and we all are very well aware that having one personality trait is just not good.
Yeah.
That never works out for anybody.
Yeah.
Even being close to that, I think, is dangerous for a person. And then two is that she straight up didn't exist before the wish. And, that's one thing if you, like, spawn $1 billion, like a certain someone. We'll get around
Bro
to
should have
him.
wished for a helmet.
But, when you try to spawn a sentient being that hasn't existed, and especially you're spawning it into the body of a 20-something woman who's, got 20 years of being human under her belt, which, sure, you don't have all the answers, but you know how to be a person, basically.
Yeah. But she was a new human, but she was preloaded with memories.
Exactly. I think she was preloaded with memories, but just specifically not Nikki's personality.
Yes, of course, not the personality. But do you think that Nikki's memories would shape her, and you know what I mean? Like, why do they have no effect on her?
And see, that's the thing. That's why it's kind of like AI, right? Because AI has access to the whole World Wide Web, for example.
Okay.
Yes, it can always. It technically is always capable of reaching the correct answer to any given question, as long as someone out there has known it.
Yeah.
Does AI always get you the right answer?
Absolutely not.
Not.
Most of the time it's wrong.
Exactly.
Especially when it matters.
Exactly. When it matters most, it's wrong. And I feel like Freaky Nikki is literally the humanoid version of that. And it's like, like I said, you kind of like.
That's an interesting theory. I like that.
Remember the whole thing about like how she's like, "Oh, you want to come on in? My cat just died," and it's like, "No, my cat just died." And she's like, "Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, your cat just died."
Yeah.
It's like you see her having these moments of like almost mechanical like
so
error.
Why lie about her dad then?
No, that one, man.
I was thinking about that when the movie. She could have gotten what she could have fulfilled her purpose without that lie. Why?
I have to agree with you, and honestly,
I think it was just kind of like a narrative thing for the friends to catch on.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it was like a kind of like a good lie that worked for that end.
And
She probably like
it did push the plot forward.
Yeah,
I think that
exactly. And she kind of like that would be one thing where she clearly did dig in Nikki's memories. Actually, it kind of makes sense now that I think about it, because she tried for the whole cat died angle. She was just playing wrong on that one.
Yeah.
So basically, she had to try and find something else
that died or that was dying.
Yeah, exactly. Either something that's dying or just something that Nikki would not be happy about. And I'm guessing, I'm not saying Nikki has nothing to be unhappy about, but it doesn't sound like she's had any recent deaths around. She's at least more communicative than that, so like Bear probably would have known. So
and she realized that something dying made people sad because of what Bear just said.
Bear, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
And something had to work, so she kind of just threw that together, even if it was on truth.
I mean, that honestly, it's making sense.
Yeah.
That is making a lot of sense. Well, okay, another thing that I was kind of confused about is how her facial expression during the scene when they were in the bed together and he was doing his thing. Do you remember she was just like, face? Yeah, what was that about?
That one, so that's a couple of things, right? And that's one of the most heavy scenes in the movie for a few reasons. All right, so.
You think that was the actual Nikki, like?
No, I believe that was all Freaky Nikki there.
Okay.
Because she knows, obviously, in this moment, Bear would like to hear, her moaning and all that.
Okay.
But regardless of whether it was physically good for her or not, like I don't know why, honestly, but that just didn't do anything for her. Or even if it did, honestly, it very well could have, and she just straight up, doesn't know how to properly express that.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think it could kind of be a number of things, but what I think that is really on a deeper level than that is that was symbolic, I guess, of the fact that it was technically a sexual assault.
Yeah, for sure.
Nikki, actual Nikki, did not consent to that with her body. And, it's something you kind of hear about commonly with, like, stories around that is that, like, victims' bodies kind of tend to go, like, they kind of just tend to go slack. They kind of go limp. And that's kind of the image that's evoking there.
I see.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. It was super disturbing to like watch, and it's like
the movie is so good at making you feel uncomfortable, dude. Like there's so many scenes that are so impactful in a way that I haven't been impacted by a film before. Like,
oh yeah,
it's like the audio is done really well. The camera work is done really well. Exactly, the cinematography is done really well. The dialogue is done really well. The subtext is done really well. The more you read into it, the more interesting it gets.
And I love movies like that, man. That's why.
And scenes like that, like, dude, even the scene where where she duct taped the door, and like you see his face before you see the door.
Exactly, it just slowly pans around, and you're like,
you're like, wait, you're like, why are you tweaking? And you look at the door, you're like, holy shit,
like that's a lot of tape, dude.
Yeah, bro, that was, and then like, even like when she's like waiting for him to come back, and she's like standing there just like rotting away, bro, like that.
Oh my god,
that was just so like
it's all so very disturbing.
But okay, I just have so many gripes with Bear, bro. During this film,
man,
Big Dog, what are you doing? Okay, you make the wish. All right, fine. You do your thing. You didn't realize it was gonna work. It worked. Okay. He realized there was a moment in the film that he realized that this was not Nikki.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Honestly,
it was as soon as he started having the flashback to their argument. You remember that?
He had a flashback to the argument?
Yes. He was having a moment where he was like talking to Nikki at some point, and then he like realized. Remember he said, "Do you love me more than anyone in the world?"
Yeah, it was when he thought.
And then she said yes, and he thought right back to the thing, and he realized
You're
how
right,
weird she was
I forgot
acting.
had a short
He
flashback to
knew
the argument.
at that
That was
point,
when he knew.
from then on,
And
he
mind
knew
you-
this is not Nikki. And then they had an argument after that, and he said, "You're not acting like Nikki. You need to act like Nikki." And he's saying, and she was saying,
Exactly.
"Oh, I'm trying to be Nikki. I'm trying to be Nikki." He knew exactly
And it's
what he
things
was
like
doing.
that.
He knew what this was, and he kept going anyway. He
Precisely.
tried to make it like work. Like, dude, at that point,
It's things like that that make me think he
he-
on some level.
he's the villain of the movie.
Okay, good. Because the funny thing is, that was one of my questions. Because
Yes.
somehow that has actually been a debate.
No,
I
it's
kid you not.
100%
I kid you
a
not.
fact. He is the villain of the
I'm
film.
just glad we're in agreement on that.
Yes. It's because and it was set in stone the moment he realized what it was. He understood exactly what was happening, and he did nothing. That was
I've
yeah.
seen some people, some people were saying, and this one I can see it, but I don't agree with you at all. Is that the One Wish Willow Company? They're the villains of the movie.
No.
And I would be inclined to think that, except we see a wish go off harmlessly when Ian just gets $1 billion and there's no issue. Also, what I immediately looked at was when Bear actually goes to look up the One Wish Willows, and literally the reviews are alternating. Yes, it works. No, it doesn't work. Yes, it works.
Yeah, what was that about?
No, it doesn't work. I think those were literally just people who, like, one person, they either didn't understand how their wish worked, or it was just someone just like they didn't do it or something like that. Or honestly, because the people who kind of work for the company seem to they don't like complainers about the wishes. So that could have been them kind of fake reviewing their own thing. But I believe all those yeses were genuinely true, especially because one in specific, I actually stopped to read.
So why say no? That's what I'm saying. Why were there reviews that said no?
Like, I don't know how, but I think someone might have made a wish, and like we see, for example, Bear's wish in a way more disastrous fashion, but like in his mind, he didn't get what he wanted from it, right? He didn't, expect for Nikki to go crazy. I think that other people might have made their wishes, and like him, they didn't quite realize the implications of their wish. So when the consequences happened, they just didn't understand what it was, and they didn't attribute it to their wish.
Okay.
Now, that's not 100%, like I was saying.
I think that this film also takes place in like a universe that's like not ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there has to be, because there's so many things. It almost felt like it was like a dream universe. Like there were so many things that were happening that like the movie just like omits, right?
Like how?
The fact that Nikki is like screaming and they have neighbors and she's very loud and like somebody would say something. She's sprinting outside. Remember when she went to go kill that girl that he was in the car with? Sprinting outside with a brick in her hand, bust through the window. With no one sees that. You know what I mean?
That one is true.
But
I would say I think it's more so just that the movie didn't focus on those because
Right.
in the restaurant when she has her whole thing, the no,
yeah.
people do actually react and start looking around. So I don't think it's like
Yeah.
a Twilight Zone world. Where
But the
people just
manager
ignore
doesn't
crazy
come up.
stuff.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Well,
there's
because she
certain
sat right back down. And
yeah.
kinda stopped.
But you see, like you see, what I'm saying though, it's just
But
like
yeah,
there's certain things like the cops didn't come when gunshots were heard inside the house, right? Like
now interesting thing about that we'll come back around to, but I do think the cops eventually show up.
okay,
They just don't show up during the movies.
okay, yeah. But it is interesting to me where like. It just feels like this is like an
some scenarios
isolated.
feel like,
it feels
why
like
is
this
everyone and
is like a
everything so
bad
isolated?
dream. Like that's I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just
I
like
get you.
there is so many
Like the rules of,
weird
like, the normal
things
world
that
don't
are
quite
going on.
apply.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
I think that's kind of just usually, I mean, partially just to focus on the main characters in the movie's events, but also partially because in a lot of these cases they either quickly quiet her down or move.
yeah.
So
But
that
like
kinda helps.
I do think that like things just happen in this film, and that's how like dreams work sometimes. Like okay, think of
I
like
get
the cat at the beginning. How is it opening a child safe bottle?
Mhm. Now that
You know what
was
I mean?
my personal theory, but yeah, no, you have no idea how often that question comes
Yeah,
up. And
yeah.
I like as soon as I saw it, I was like, bro, how'd the cat open the bottle?
Yeah.
Personal theory, not personal. Someone else came up with it, but like, kind of, if you watch Bear's house throughout the movie, it's like a lot of stuff is Nikki, but also a lot of stuff he's not quite taking care of, and a lot of stuff he's kind of just a bit reckless with. So like a lot of people theorize that either some people were saying that he was like using his grandma's pills. Other
Where's his grandma?
long dead.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why is there pills?
It was her house. He moved in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah. That was a part. That was like mentioned in the film.
And that kind of feeds into what I was like. My
but he just
theory
still
there.
has those pills. Okay.
Exactly.
Sure.
That like Bear is kind of, I mean, a bit of a waste. Like not of a person, but like he kind of like is wasting away in a sense, and lets things kind of do that because like for example like.
Yeah.
So the theory is just like he just left those pills around, literally didn't even bother to close them, basically. But the same kind of happens with a lot of the crazy stuff Nikki does throughout the movie. You'll notice that a lot of it is kind of just left there after the fact. He doesn't go back to clean it up. And Bear, generally, his response to problems is to kind of either ignore or avoid them.
Yeah.
And then like even when like Sandy dies, right? Like he disposes of the cat's body, but when Nikki finds it, literally like the same or the next morning. So it's like you dispose of the cat's corpse, but you clearly didn't dispose of it well. If it's still around your house, that she can grab it and just plop it down.
Well, he might have buried it and then she dug it up or something.
I don't think he buried it.
Yeah.
I get the distinct.
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because like, especially with like how she was, you probably would have seen the dirt, the shovel, something like that, or a suggestion. But it's like between that, like the pills, or the fact that there was something else that's like just been in that house for way too long. But basically,
the wallpaper is still all from 1961.
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like Bear. Oh, I was gonna say how Bear after burying the cat, and like I get it, you're sad, your cat just died and all this, but like he kind of just lays across his bed and just starts doom scrolling pictures of Nikki.
Yeah.
So it's like he kind of just like Bear himself. Not only is he just shy, not only is he kind of a chud, but like I don't think he's okay. Like he's probably been depressed for a long time.
I can see that. I can see that.
Either from the depression or just his own personal habits, he just doesn't tend to take care of things around his own
and this
home.
like false love of Nikki kind of like gives him some type of distraction.
Exactly,
from
that's
that.
like his whole
and so that's why he's clinging to
purpose.
it. I could definitely see that. I think that's very valid, dude. Like, but it's just like there are just so many weird things in like in the setting, you know what I mean? And not like not even
given
like,
that it's like in that world, the One Wish Willow company exists, and these people are just out there,
right?
Yeah, like,
exactly.
The company just kind of keeps on,
and magic is real, so it's
it's like I wouldn't be surprised if there was kind of more to the setting to begin with.
That's kind of what I'm interested in. Like what's the world? Yeah, like what's the world like? You know what I mean? Like clearly, I don't know. It's just so. It's just like. It is very interesting to me.
But back to kind of
anyway,
like a much earlier point in this tangent slash sub part.
Yeah, we're just chatting about the film, honestly.
But one of those reviews for the One Which Willow is actually working was that basically somebody was saying like, oh, their mom had been ugly all her life, and she wished she was beautiful, and like she actually was beautiful the next day. So like clearly, at least some of these reviews I think are actually stories of people like straight up, because the same way Ian just was like, I wish I had $1 billion. Someone could just say, I wish I was beautiful. I wish I was pretty. And, like, that just happens. And the wish is granted. No crazy issue because the wish wasn't very problematic.
I got you.
So I do believe that these, generally work. And, like I said, the no's are either people who kind of didn't get their wishes, didn't understand them, or it could be people from One Wish Willow just going back and trying to say no to put out any potential fires that might cause. But honestly, the whole company seems generally to like they can't be bothered.
Yeah,
to probably do that.
So, what's your theory on who the person was on the other side of the phone?
That guy. Yeah, honestly, I kind of think. I'm not sure exactly the process, but I feel like when you start working for One Wish Willow,
you think he was just an employee?
Yeah, I believe he was genuinely just a guy who works at One Wish Willow. Probably more important, or at least, like in a different position than the ones in the store. But I think he's genuinely just a guy who works there.
Interesting.
Like, because that's the vibe they all give. Like, it could be more to it, but like, the guy at the end even mentioned he used his wish already, and it would be no surprise if the girl did. Actually, another random theory I personally don't agree with. People theorize that the girl from the beginning he gets the willow from wished to be a guy, and that's the guy he sees at the end of the movie.
Oh.
And that's why the guy says he used his wish already. Now, I don't think so, just because there's no common elements between the two, other than working for One Wish Willow and not being like bothered.
Well, I don't think they even technically worked for. I don't think the store owner.
Yeah, they worked at the store. They just
exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they even worked there. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, because like I could see if there were some common design elements or like behaviors or anything, but those two just seem distinctly different. Not to mention he's at least 10 years older than her by the looks of him.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're the same person, but I think that. I'm not sure if it's maybe because you see it so many times or you get so many complaints, but I think something about working for One Wish Willow just gives you that, look, dude, you made the wish, bro. It's.
Why do you think the One Wish Willow box rang when he was in the car? It like called him. You know what I mean? Like
Now, that is
he
a
was sitting in
good
the car by
question,
himself. He was looking at the house because he didn't want to go inside because he didn't want to see her.
Which part? Because I do remember like I think
This
it
is
was once or
when
twice
he
like
was
that.
coming. He was coming home to tell her that he was gonna go to the boys' night. I think.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And then he was
Yeah,
like
he
sitting
did.
outside, and then it like rang,
I'm like, I forget.
and he picked up and looked at the box. That's when he called.
Oh, see, I thought he picked it up and it rang. I actually,
No. It rang.
Then I am not sure because
Yeah.
I do know like yeah.
And my
'Cause
another
typically
question.
they just ring when you open them, take the willow out. So
yeah.
I've got nothing honestly.
And another thing is, why is she innately like evil or like sadistic?
Now that's okay. And that's back to another thing.
You know what I mean? Like, why
Yeah.
is she innately bad?
That
you know
brings
what I
me
mean?
back around to my theory here. So, like I said before, she got one personality trait, and two, she's like a new human being, right?
Yeah.
And I don't.
Is she
think-
human though? I don't think she's human.
Not technically.
The way
Like,
that she was moving was
yeah, I'm
very
like
inhuman
she's
on
exactly.
purpose.
I think she's both human and not like. I think she is, like I said, kind of like the human counterpart to an AI, like something simulating a human being, not a demon, not a monster. Just like literally, this wish just tried to create a human and it just quite couldn't. Now, what I think is that over the course of the movie, she develops a humanity of her own,
Yeah.
and that's where I think she becomes violent because I don't think she is inherently sadistic or anything.
So is that a commentary on like human nature?
I doubt it. I think it's more so a commentary. I think the whole dynamic between Bear and Nikki is actually like commentary on like how these kind of relationships tend to be when a guy like Bear actually does manage to get a girl somehow, and how that tends to go south regardless.
I see what you're saying.
Because random side tangent. Do you think that Nikki liked Bear?
No.
All right, me either. Now, some people say she does, and I see why. Because she did do a bunch of back and forth things. I think it was still pretty decidedly that she didn't.
No. At the end, she asked him at the end of the argument. Remember, she asked him,
right? Do you
even
like
me?
And I took that definitively as like her no, because
and then he said no, and she said good.
Yeah. Now, looking at like her expression and kind of her behavior there, and what most of these people say is that she goes out of her way to tell him, no one would ever know if I like the guy because I'm really secretive.
I think okay. I will entertain the idea that maybe she was on the fence, and then when he said the freaky Nikki thing, she was cool off it.
See, my theory is, and this kind of harkens back to the situation that Nikki and Bear's relationship reminds me of, because this is how that situation went, funny enough. I think that at one point she was interested in him, and he killed that a long time ago. And probably occasionally now she like...
Because she realized he's a chud.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think that occasionally she probably gives him a chance to like prove her wrong. And he doesn't. He never does.
Yeah.
Because, so back to this little situation I was saying they remind me of. Basically, someone who, like I said, I found attractive. I don't know if she found me attractive or not. But kind of early on, funny enough, I think there was a point where both of us were considering each other, right? But it never went anywhere. And I made that intentional because pretty much I'd heard and seen some of her past kind of relationship-esque interactions, and I was like, nah, that's not for me. And kind of around that time / shortly after, she kind of it was weird. She went through this kind of like weird phase of kind of trying to like let me down gently, but it's like I never really tried to like do anything there, and it wasn't because I was scared, but it was because I genuinely just didn't think we'd work.
Okay.
But yeah, basically that's the reason why I think it's like she was probably interested and then just changed her mind, because occasionally it felt like some things came up that was like, are we kind of digging this back up again? Like I don't want to do this.
Okay.
Because like I said, girl was great. I actually really liked her as a person too, but I just saw how she kind of handled relationships, and I was like, nah, that's not for me.
Okay.
But yeah, like a lot of people, like I said, they cite that, she said no one would know. And they, bring up, oh, she could have just as easily been asking him because she wanted to, like, reach out. But to me, that was her asking because she wanted to try and just nip that in the bud. And I say that because this person who, again, like, had this whole kind of, like, weird thing around, like, she thought I was interested, but I was, kind of decidedly not. Basically, at one point, she did that with me. Like, she asked, like, hey, do you have feelings for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I said no. And I was being honest.
Yeah. Was she disappointed?
Well, like I said, it was kind of around that phase of her kind of trying to find a way to like let me down gently.
Okay.
So
she wasn't really
so she like gave the whole like relieved reaction, kind of like we see Nikki do.
Okay.
And so yeah, we were both kind of relieved because I'm like, in my head it's like, good, she can finally stop like bringing this back up.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're real pretty. You're aware of that, but nah, I'm cool. And in her head, she's like, okay, good, he's not interested in me, so we don't have to worry about this anymore.
Mhm.
Whatever. Which another reason why I say I've kind of like Bear is because in this situation I could have just came right out and been like, no, I'm not interested. Which, I mean, technically I did sort of. It's complicated. Weird situation, just like this whole situation with Bear and Nikki here. Back to Nikki and what I think she is, right? So, like, I think that she's kind of like this weird attempt at recreating a human life within a body that already exists and has been living with a human life in it.
Yeah.
I think she kind of develops her own humanity, and honestly, I look at her as basically a fully separate character from Nikki. Like, not even, I don't even really think. Like,
but I feel like whenever Freaky Nikki is like in full control, doing what she wants to do autonomously, she is the most inhuman.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't think that she is human at all. I think she's a creation without the humanity. I feel like that's what's missing is the soul.
I think that's how she was created, but I think over time she developed her own.
I don't know, man, because
that's the Kingdom Hearts fan in me.
Okay.
For Kingdom Hearts fans, y'all know exactly what y'all see where this is going. But what were you saying?
I think that because think of the way that she reacts to things whenever they're at the house.
Oh yeah, it's
she
all really
screams.
weird.
She's moving really weird. She moves backwards at one point. She's
that was insane.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
That was the most. That was so insane.
Some people theorize that her weird movements. Oh wait, did I mention the crazy theory to you?
No.
Oh right. Oh man. Okay. So we're gonna knock out a couple of ideas here. One idea I heard people say for the walking backwards and other strange, not the other strange movements, but some people were saying the walking backwards or other contradictory movements were real Nikki being able to control the body but not the mind or the mouth. So Nikki.
What do you mean? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's the case either. I think that was kind of like how I mentioned earlier, her having a hard reboot moment on her sort of AI. But some people were saying that the real Nikki probably wanted to move away from Bear there, but Freaky Nikki was obviously focused on Bear, so she got this weird sort of reversed movement trying to maintain focus on him while moving away.
The thing, I don't think that
I don't think that's the case.
I was gonna say I don't think that Nikki was trying to get away from Bear. I think she was trying to get control of her body again.
Yeah, I think that was her top priority, and then self-destruction.
I don't think she was really because the thing is she didn't really seem like she was fighting to get control because she was surprised when she got control.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I think that was just Freaky Nikki slipping.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think Freaky Nikki just kind of had this weird like I said, because I noticed something that it seems like she kind of, I don't know how to put it. Again, kind of to parallel the whole human AI thing. I think she just has these moments where basically her system crashes and she does something weird as part of her getting it back in order.
Yeah, but why is the spell so broken like that? You know what I mean? Why is the
and I think
magic
it's basically because
off?
like what Curry Barker himself actually said about why the wish kind of went so bad is because basically that's just not the kind of wish you should make, right?
Okay, yeah.
You shouldn't make wishes that basically violate the free will of someone else. And so I think that what the wish did in order to try and reconcile that, because basically the wish couldn't make Nikki love Bear. It's weird. It's a contradictory statement. Making Nikki love Bear, just it's not Nikki Freeman. She doesn't love Bear.
Yeah, yeah.
Where for example, if the wish was to make Ian love Nikki, maybe he could. But she just straight up wouldn't. So a new personality has to be born that did. That's my theory.
But that actually kind of holds up, because at the end of the movie, when the Freaky Nikki snaps her wishbone thing,
her wishbone.
He didn't love her at that point.
Yep, and then he
so
starts.
It made a new personality for him.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I definitely believe that, but it just occurred to me with how he felt about Nikki before. I almost wonder, would it need to?
No, he didn't like Freaky Nikki.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
That is true,
and that's what she was at that point.
That is true.
They had an argument before.
Yeah,
and remember she said something about
where it's it's out in the open now.
Yeah. He does not like her. He does not love her. He won't ever love her because she's not Nikki.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And so it had to make a new personality for him too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he just was never gonna love that version.
And I kind of that's one thing I was actually thinking about earlier today. It kind of just occurred to me. I'm okay, I see how at the end, it's cool because he gets, body snatched or supplanted in his own body too at the end. Poetic. But then it kind of dawned on me, for just those last few minutes that he had before dying, he got to realize and feel the pain that he'd been causing on Nikki all this time. And
He got off easy. I ain't gonna lie.
He did get off easy.
Yeah.
But it's poetic justice a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Freaky Nikki herself. I think that early on she started with like no semblance of like real humanity in there. She was just kind of fulfilling the act. But it's actually around that argument they have where Bear actually comes out and it's like, you're not Nikki. Like I wanted you to act like Nikki and you're not. And I think it was kind of like she has a really interesting moment, and I think it kind of changes her for the rest of the movie. And I think this is where she really gets violent. Like before that, she definitely did weird things. I don't think they registered in her head as violent.
Why was violence her answer to everything, though?
And that's where it's gonna get into it, because I think she actually developed a resentment towards Bear. Like at this point, what kind of made me start thinking this, right, is because in this argument they have, specifically he says, "Why can't you just be Nikki?" And she's saying, "I can't be Nikki." A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, is she saying I can be Nikki? I can't be Nikki." I think she's saying she can't until she screams it at him. Then, she screams at him, "I can't be Nikki." And then if you notice after that, she's, "No, I can be Nikki. I can be Nikki." Like in that moment to me, the kind of fear and desperation she feels is because I think there's more at stake for her than just the feelings that she's got. Like these feelings, they were programmed onto her, right? But they're not. It's not like she just existed and then she developed these feelings.
Yeah. She has another motive. She has some motive for fulfilling her purpose. What is that, though?
Exactly. I think it's literally just that, like, kind of to go back to the sort of like AI-ish concept, I think she is somewhat like a computer in that sense of she has a prime directive.
Okay.
It's love Bear. And at this point in the movie is when she kind of admits defeat. She can't organically love Bear. She can, have all these behaviors that mimic love towards him. She can be obsessed with him. But I think in this moment that she yells at him and then she kind of like gets scared, there's a few things that happen. Because of how she describes later on how like sleeping without him feels, and just the kind of general reaction she has to being without him. I think it's either, being without him is obviously very uncomfortable. Honestly, I'd say maybe even painful for Freaky Nikki.
Yeah.
And then I would say that I think that if Bear kind of were to walk away, give up the relationship, whatever it's going to be, basically if her love definitively cannot satisfy him and he gives up on it, or worse, if he, somehow gets her unwished, like how he was trying to do at the very end, I think that all of those, she basically sees those as a threat to her existence because she exists for one reason, and that is to love Bear.
Yes.
If anything compromises that situation, she can't. Like, when at the end of the movie she snaps back to regular Nikki, to me, that's when Freaky Nikki died. And I think that, I think that she was afraid of that all this time.
Okay.
So basically, it's reasonable. We all know that, like Bear can't love Freaky Nikki. But because she was born purely to engage in this love, when Bear says that he can't, he is effectively.
So would she have died if he would have given up on it?
So there, I don't think she would have died outright. Technically, I think it would have been like probably. I feel like her life might have started to hurt almost as much as real Nikki's did.
Okay, yes.
Being trapped back there.
I see what you're saying, yes.
Since how she describes being away from Bear is just this terrible, empty feeling. And I think it probably would have made her more violent. But yeah, at that point, it seems like she has like a real fear. Like it's not just that she's desperate for Bear's affection, but she's genuinely afraid of the threat that him not loving her poses.
Yeah.
And I think from there, she loves him, but she hates him.
Okay.
Is what I think. Like she's programmed to love him, It's like she's got these conditions of, can't hurt him, have to make him happy, need him to love you, need to always be around him, and if any of these things aren't met, your existence becomes way more painful. But on a personal level, because of her experiences with him, because everything she does is her natural weird self, he's trying to correct it, or he, doesn't want to deal with it, it freaks him out, he's like constantly trying to get away from her to someone else. I think that she develops a resentment of him, and a fear for him walking away. And that's why kind of after that, when she kills Sarah, because this was one of my like this was a super interesting moment in the movie to me, when she comes around to comfort him, she keeps reiterating how this is his fault. And it's like this, between this and the last argument, where she has her I can't be Nikki, and then I can't.
Yeah.
Those are like the first moments to me that she ever expresses not just having like unconditional like positive views towards Bear. She never points out anything being on him despite most of it being on him. She never criticizes him in any way up until that point that I can remember.
Okay.
So to me, from this point on, she's developed a resentment for Bear, and that's why in the last act she's so readily able to threaten him and clearly like furious with him. But
she couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it kind of reminds me of, weirdly enough, or like the dynamic that the Reverse Flash and the Flash have. Like 9 times out of 10, the Reverse Flash in comics, he can't kill Barry no matter how bad he wants to. So
yeah,
because
it's a time paradox.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
No Barry, no Reverse Flash. No Barry, no Freaky Nikki. So she can't. She like her rules won't let her hurt him, but she actually hates him, and so she kind of has to just keep operating on this love, even though she's like everything he's ever done to her has made her life worse. And that's why I think she kind of comes around to him and is like, hey, you wish for this. This is all your fault.
Yeah.
Like, notice how she doesn't. She said I'm sorry, but she didn't really take the blame for it. I don't think that she wouldn't have been normal, but I don't think she would have turned violent if not for Bear's kind of like thorough rejection of her in the scene before that, where she admits she can't be Nikki. And I feel like it was kind of like, I don't know if I said this before, but like she kind of admitted defeat when she got angry and yelled, I can't be Nikki.
Yeah, I agree. My thing is, I guess it is a horror film. You have to make it like unsettling.
Get, like,
but why she is making it like Freaky Nikki herself is making her own prerogative more difficult by doing things that are off, that are weird. Like, why cook the cat? Why feed him the cooked cat?
Yeah.
It's just gonna it's gonna make your mission harder.
Man. Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why do that? Why tape the door? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he already was in on it. He didn't want to see what was actually wrong.
Oh yeah.
So she could have just did nothing, and her life would have been easier. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've got a few ideas, but first I'm gonna bring up one other crazy theory that I don't think I brought up yet.
Okay. But it's like she couldn't help it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Is that she couldn't help it. I think with her nature as being this kind of weird, literally single-minded, one-track-minded, like one-purpose being, and her not having like 20 years of like learning social norms, how humans actually act.
Yeah, but like babies don't like babies don't have social norms. They don't like cook cats. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I mean she's still not an organic human.
Yeah.
Like there's still a line to draw. I just think that like the way her mind works is functionally human. But a theory that other people have as to why she is like this is that Sandy is what possessed Nikki. Like Sandy's soul, the dead cat soul, is in Nikki's body, and that's who Freaky Nikki is.
Wait, what?
Genuinely.
How does that work?
The claims I've heard, well, the supporting evidence, whatever I've heard for it, the case I've heard, is that between her eyes kind of glowing, like the night.
Yes, I remember that. That was so freaky too. That was so creepy.
That was.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna drop something about myself, and I'm gonna get clowned for this one. It was creepy, but.
Are you giving me a hear me out right now, bro? Move around with that.
Are you telling me that like the way she kind of like tilted in, like I know you have feelings for me, the kind of like shine in the eyes? You telling me that wasn't?
That was weird.
It was weird.
That was scary.
It was.
Hey, I'm calling the FBI.
No, like just take that separate from everything else she does. I'm not defending anything else she does.
Even if that just like regularly happened, that would
like
freak
you telling
me
me
out.
like if a girl's like flirting with you and she kind of hits one of those,
that would freak me out. If her eyes were glowing in the dark, that would freak me out.
I mean, people's eyes kind of sort of glow in the right lighting a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, what are we doing? Move around.
I'm not gonna lie. At that one moment, like ignoring every other piece of context, if a girl just approaches me this way and this is how she proposes we date, I'll fold. I'll admit it. I'll fold. The confidence. It's like
you're falling for the demonic Riz. Like, what's
going
on right now?
She did it. Everything else she did was nuts. But that was
bro. Eyes are not supposed to look like that, man. That's like, okay, no, there's a thing, bro. Like, humans have this thing for like seeing stuff in eyes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You can see like intent in eyes.
Because the thing is, it's weird. Because I remember
in her eyes was murder. It was murder in her eyes. I saw it.
When she like takes the name Freaky Nikki, the smile she does there, that one terrified me. That one was nothing but fear.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because like her face was shaded enough I couldn't see the murder, but at that moment she would have got me.
Bro, all right, you're bugging. You know, also kind of like was like really weird. Remember when they were talking and then she just goes like, "How about this?" Like randomly, and this smiles.
That was terrifying.
That was lucky scary.
That was disturbing.
That was so scary.
Like, I could be in a fully normal
Yeah.
relationship. If she
You know what's scary, bro? No, the best jump scare was when they first were about to like get into the bed together, and she's like crawling, and then she like jumps back to real.
What's
Nikki.
going on?
Bro, I actually jumped, bro.
No, that got me.
That one got me.
And
I was like, bro, whoa.
one definitive difference between Bear and I is like I don't know how his sex drive survives this stuff,
Bro.
Because for me, like one averse very clearly like this is not go time for that stimulus, and I'm
cool.
stopping.
I'm
Like,
cool.
After she jumps back and says, "What is that?"
I'm running away.
Not only would I run away, but like even if I physically wanted to stay there, my body will just not respond that way. It's just not gonna work. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm never seeing you again. There's no
that doesn't
chance.
Get me going, bro.
Yeah, there's no reality where we meet each other again after that happens, bro.
Neither of us will ever even physically be.
Yeah.
in the same bed
I'm
again.
moving to France. I'm changing my name. I'll
Bro's
just
gonna
never
start
see
eating
you again.
baguettes.
I don't care, bro. It's fish and chips from here on out, bro.
Literally.
I just don't. I'm never gonna see
It
you.
was that same thing with with her lying there like a dead fish during the sex scene, which mind you,
He didn't even notice, which is the craziest part. But anyway,
literally that's the
that was
crazy
crazy.
part. Like that absolutely couldn't happen. Like, and that's another reason why I think like he is kind of selfish enough to want this
of course,
unconditional
but
love.
like
And
that's a different level of like
exactly
selfishness, bro.
Mhm.
That's like actually like bad
It is.
person
It
selfishness. You know what I mean? Like, bro is the antagonist of the film. He's the
Exactly.
villain.
To me, that is the moment where it's like you can't argue he's not the villain.
No,
past
no,
that,
yeah,
bro. You
it's
can't.
it's bad, bro.
That was the moment that tipped it. But what was I gonna say? It was something else about that scene. Ah, man. Yeah, insane.
There's so much. There's so many instances in this movie that are like unsettling to the most
core.
interesting way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
In like ways that other films have not even scratched. You know what I mean? Like, I think outside of this film, maybe another film that has like some semblance of like this kind of vibe was like It Part 1. Did it kind of the same? Not really, but like
not really. It's like
but it gave you that unsettling feeling
like
rather than just relying on jump scares.
It's like Pennywise was trying to scare you, and then he would unsettle you while he's at it. Where this movie can skip straight past. Like you don't need to be physically threatened by Nikki. She's just gonna creep you out, and it's just gonna work. And congratulations, because it did.
She has so many tendencies that like
Oh yeah, back to the cat thing.
Sorry.
People attributed the movements to her being the cat. People thought, the dead cat shrine, because cats bring their owners dead animals. Basically they just assigned her behaviors to the dead cat.
I see what you're saying.
And also, the glowing eyes. But to me, it's like a lot of that stuff, though. I think that's more so because cats have a long sort of like semi-coincidental, semi-not sort of a conceptual relation to the supernatural.
Okay.
Yeah. Because cats have like eyes that glow at night, and most supernatural things have eyes that glow at night. Cats stalk about weirdly, and anything that stalks about weirdly is gonna freak out a human being.
Yeah.
So of course that got lumped into the supernatural.
Yeah.
Like,
I could see where people get that theory from. I don't agree with it personally, but I can see that.
I don't see why you jump to the cat. Oh, and then they also said, what loves a human more perfectly and completely and weirdly than, their dog. But yeah, I'm standing on it. Dogs have like a more pure love.
Dogs are better.
I'm a dog person, man. I'm sorry.
I think dogs are.
I like cats.
You know what I think it is that dogs are more intelligent socially. They're more socially intelligent than cats are. I think cats are not as good as dogs at getting what they want from others.
Oh yeah,
if that makes sense.
I actually feel like that's the part they're good at. I feel like dogs are
no. I think cats are socially inept.
Cats are definitely inept in a lot of ways. Like I feel like a lot of people cats are smart, but a lot of people give them too much credit. Cats do some dumb things, man.
Dogs can get more out of their owners than a cat can. I think. Always. I don't think there's ever going to be a situation.
I would think so, except cats get their owners to put up with all the crap they do.
Yeah, but that's different than being able to, like dogs are very good at like, almost like being manipulative. You know what I mean? Not in like a bad way. It's very innocent.
Wrong,
but it's like they will like they know how to like
actively
beg you for stuff. They know how to like ask for things.
But it's mostly just they refuse to stop.
Yeah.
Where a dog, it's like you just look at them and you're like, okay, bro, fine.
I think cats are more logically intelligent. I think dogs are more socially intelligent. I think that's what it is.
I agree because cats also. I mean, granted, they just have weird personalities, but
I think some people are like that too. It's a spectrum that some people are as well. Absolutely. People that are very logically intelligent are sometimes not as socially. They kind of like on the social side. And people that are more socially, honestly, people that are more socially intelligent and not as logically intelligent sometimes get farther in life.
Oh yeah. Oh,
because they just
charisma
are
will get you
able to
far.
get what they want out of people.
You can get someone who's smart enough to
exactly,
get what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, it is kind of like
That's kind of how it works.
I think that's what it is. Anyway, so, but I see the cat theory.
Like, why though?
And why kill and display the bodies and stuff like that. I just
generally don't see why the cat would be this way, especially because the cat like.
But I guess we didn't have any context for the cat before it died, so.
Yeah, but like even with the cat, like okay, the cat brings a dead body, like sure, except like, and granted, you know, the cat wouldn't quite fully understand the concept of like, oh, that's what I was a minute ago, but like between the body, the smell, everything, like all the this.
Yeah,
in the
and
house,
the stuff
like,
she was saying, like, oh, my cat died, like, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
say
exactly. It's like that.
I don't think that lines up.
A cat's not gonna like grasp at straw social like that. Not to mention cats. Your cat can love you to the moon and back, but there's gonna be times where your cat just decides, no, you're not gonna be around.
Yeah. That's
and
real.
Freaky Nikki had no capacity for such a thing.
I don't think it was a cat.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
But I just think that one of the most interesting aspects of this movie is the way.
Random thing. Got my tiger's eye on. Always keep your tiger's eye with you. Give it to someone else, and they might, body snatch you with like some weird ghost cat.
Yeah, what was the tiger's eye thing when he looked at the tiger's eye that she gave him? Why'd she give him that?
A lot of people think it was symbolic. I honestly just thought it was just a gift at first. She's just into spiritual stuff. But a lot of people look at it as like, because tiger's eye stones are supposed to bring protection and strength and confidence, like she mentions. A lot of people look at that as kind of her surrendering her like safety to him. Like that was when she kind of became like vulnerable to this sort of thing. Which it was after the wish, but it's like the point is that like the wish got her to drop that wall.
Okay, I guess. But why'd he look at it before he like decided to die?
Because it was supposed to give him confidence, strength, courage.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much kind of in the immediate movie sense though, like the plot. I think it was just to show us that, like, she said it was an heirloom from her mom. Like, the point is, this early in a relationship, you should not be passing something like this on to your boyfriend or girlfriend.
I see what you're saying. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the core of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Where were we?
We were just yapping, man. I mean, it's like a very chill, unstructured conversation about the movie. Yeah.
Just talking.
Yeah.
This is what a beanbag does to you. You don't need the structure anymore. Get a beanbag. Stop being organized.
I'm not gonna lie. These new seats are goated. I like them. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Back to where we were. But yeah, I think back to the kind of like the last question I remember.
Sure.
I don't think Freaky Nikki was inherently violent. I think she just didn't understand kind of human morals or norms or any of that stuff. But as she became desperate with Bear and she got to the point that she hated or she loved him out of like obligation and design and her kind of core purpose, but in terms of their actual like relationship, I think she had a deep resentment for him to the point I'd say she hated him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the rest of the movie, like she's got all this anger that she can't take out on him, so everyone else is catching.
I see what you're saying. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that theory. I think
that's where she kind of gets her humanity from.
I think I agree with that. And okay, another question.
Yeah. Did
Ian send Bear off in the beginning on purpose?
Now,
you know what I'm talking about?
Like, because
that advice was garbage.
Oh, that advice was terrible.
Why did he fall for that advice?
He kind of like me.
He just
inept.
Okay.
Yeah, we just weren't good at that kind of thing.
Okay.
But Ian, funny enough, I feel like Ian is kind of like one of my blind spots in the movie because my whole first viewing of the movie, I kid you not, it didn't register to me how Ian was being a bad friend.
Yeah,
I watched the movie and I'm like, oh yeah, like I realized, Ian's advice at the beginning was crap, but I thought he was like, he genuinely just lacked understanding of Nikki and whatnot. And like after that, I see people like, I'm like I said, diving into all this content. And people are like, Ian's the worst. Like Ian's such a bad friend. He did this to him. Ian kind of caused this. And I'm like, what did Ian do? Like I bought into like Ian being on his side. I thought he just gave terrible advice. But looking back at it, it's like I can see how he kind of sent him off. But honestly,
the billion on his head was crazy.
Part of me deep down still can't bring myself to blame Ian for like any of what other people do.
That is true. I think that Ian did not necessarily do anything wrong. He didn't do anything right either.
Exactly.
There were some things that he could have done better, especially
like,
being more adamant about getting him away from her or getting her away from him.
Yep. And I see things he did wrong, but it's like, I don't know, deep down I can't just like, I can't hold the same, because man, it doesn't show these days, but like after immediately watching this movie, like I kid you not, I was just walking around fuming about Bear as a person.
Yeah,
like
bro,
he upset me so deeply.
Ian did sell by having the party and saying it was going to be a boys' night and then not making it actually a boys' night.
Yeah, had he done that, it would have gone so much better.
I agree.
It would have gone so much better.
I think that would have been. She would have left, or just not come, and then everything. But they could have had a open communication about what's going on with him and her, and then they could have helped in some way.
Yeah, I got it.
And maybe died in the process. I don't know, but still, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Bro, Bear just he was pissing me off this whole movie.
But
man.
yeah, because at the start of the movie, I was just mad at Bear because, like I said, it was like watching past me. It's like, dude, just man up, say it, whatever.
Yeah.
But like as the movie went on, I kid you not, like you'd have to ask my cousins, man. Like I was actually sitting there like raging at my TV, like, Bear, why are you like this?
Yes.
You are terrible.
Yes.
Because like after a point, it's like, how can you do this to her? Like the moment when I borderline like crashed out right then and there, at the moment when Nikki like is talking to him in her sleep.
Yes.
I'm like, how could you ever?
I wouldn't be able to walk away.
No,
like, you can't just walk away after hearing her. After hearing her in agony on the phone, that was after that scene.
No, seriously, because at that point I'm like, okay, that's when I'm like, I have to do something. I have to figure this out. I don't blame Bear for not figuring out a solution, but it's like the fact that the whole rest of the movie after that point wasn't spent with him like, I have to find a way to fix this. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this. The fact that wasn't your primary objective infuriates me, and the fact that you can actually have her begging you for death, like hearing her cries there, genuinely hurt me. Like hearing her screaming, well, Freaky Nikki screaming was one thing, and that was scary, but like hearing her just like pitifully begging for him to come back and kill her, that broke my heart. Yeah. And I actually like almost like real life got heated about Baron. Like I'm just walking around for like the next couple of days after that. Whenever I think about the guy,
because it's like, for what? Like you're doing this for
and
what?
It's like where's your? My thing is, how can you claim to care about someone at all if you would treat them this way?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's part of why it's like it got me looking back through the movie, and what I kind of noticed is like Bear. I actually believe that Bear is every bit as obsessed with Nikki as Freaky Nikki is with Bear, except to the extent that I don't think Bear, like Freaky Nikki at least, it's gotta be, well, I mean, I guess she settled for the Wish Bear too. But the thing with me is that Bear was settling for the Wish Nikki, right? He's not doing the crazy stuff, no, but every time she does something insane, he doubles down on trying to make it work. And to me, that says that he's willing to put up with this being a thing. Yeah. As long as he gets to keep being with something shaped like Nikki. Because Freaky Nikki doesn't even act like Nikki. And to me, I kind of see this the most in like.
But I think that's why he kind of stopped liking her.
Oh, yeah, it is. But again, he didn't immediately try to resolve the wish because he still thinks he can make this work. He can get her to start acting like her or something at some point. Because if he was really over it, I feel like the next scene after that would have been him trying to buy another One Wish Willow. You know?
I see what you're saying, yeah. Do you think Nikki still has a wish?
I honestly think so. It's actually funny because, like, this is something I thought about a lot because after the movie, I was racking my head for a way Nikki could make it out of that and not get sent to prison for the rest of her life for Bear basically killing their entire friend group. And I believe that because both Nikki and Freaky Nikki and all the people in One Wish Willow all also saw Nikki and Freaky Nikki as two separate beings. Like Freaky Nikki goes out of her way to say, I can't be Nikki. When Nikki wakes up, she says she's sleeping. So it's not like they are aware they're two different personalities in one body. And even the people on the phone realize that. So I think that they actually both get separate wishes. Okay. I feel like I had another stronger reason for that beforehand. But basically, it kind of hinges on the fact that the One Wish Willow itself recognizes them as two separate people.
Yes. I think also it reinforces it when she snaps the One Wish Willow, and you know her wish was to make him love her. Of course. And he had to change to do that. If he already loved, you know what I mean? Because he loved the original Nikki. It recognizes him as he already loved Nikki.
It recognized her as Freaky Nikki, someone he didn't love, so he had to change immediately instead of it actually kind of like working differently. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
I think she does actually still have a wish. So she could just wish that none of this ever happened. Boom,
that's
she's
what
cooking.
I hope. Boys.
Then again, she could just wish for a bill on his head. I do that. I ain't gonna lie.
Man. Oh my god! And then Ian, because it's like
I'm dropping another billing on his head, on his corpse, bro. Hold that.
I hate Bear and Ian both so much for that conversation happening the way it is. Like, one part of me is like,
no, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wish for $1 billion and snapping it in his face was so crazy.
Like, I can't lie. At that moment, originally in the theaters, I wanted to like choke slam Ian, but then I was also like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Why waste my wish on your problems, though?
Could Bear have made his wish, like, could he have made his pitch rather in a less obviously insane kind of way? Granted, he just watched one of his friends get skull bashed until she didn't have a face.
Yeah, but I feel like Ian, seeing that he's covered in blood, maybe hear him out.
Exactly. Especially because why didn't he ever ask why he's covered in blood?
Yes,
that's always bothered me.
That's another thing.
Are you not
That's
concerned?
why that was one of my reinforcements of like, this is like a dream world. No one even acknowledged the fact that he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like a bad dream. We're like I don't know if you've ever had those dreams, but like things are going in the dreams
happening and like people just
don't react to things
exactly. It's like
properly.
How you're in a
it
place.
feels weird. Yeah,
it's like
it's
how you're in a
real. Your
place.
brain's convinced that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird. You know what I mean?
It's like how you're in a place and you're associating it with what you know that place to be. But
Yes.
when you actually look around, it's nothing like that.
Yes.
Like those dreams you have where you're back in your school, except your school isn't built this way in the slightest.
I don't think there was ever another person on the road while they were driving.
I mean, that one, I would say so, but it's kind of hard to say because the camera's like inside the car with
Yeah,
you.
but you know, like you don't ever, like
they
you know,
don't
it's
ever
just
seem to stop or do anything in particular.
or maneuver around
Yeah.
cars or anything like that. It just feels like the whole world is just them.
Yeah, yeah.
And whoever that they're in proxy to at the time, it's like they just spawn in. You know what I mean? Does that make sense though? It doesn't feel like there's like a world.
And it's kind of funny because like Nikki literally works like that.
Yes.
When Bear is all out of render distance, she actually goes idle until he comes back.
Yes, exactly. It just feels like uncanny. You know what I mean?
It is uncanny.
And not even just the situation, or I feel like this world would feel uncanny even if this situation was not going on.
Yeah, like even if there was like another story set in the same world.
Yes, exactly. You know what I mean?
That.
So it's like I don't
part
know.
of me actually does wonder if like the setting, because I forget if the setting is ever given a date, but I'm like.
No, it's current time. 2027 was the date of
You're right.
her getting accepted. Yeah, on the letter. Yes,
you're right.
And it felt old.
Yeah.
It didn't feel recent. It felt like the world was like not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like the 80s or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was weird, man.
It was like a time between times, a place between places.
I'm like part of me almost got the impression that it was like some sort of like weird. Not quite dystopian, but a weird near future where it's like, you know, kind of like the social regression of people has accelerated even further to where people just kind of ignore this crap as long as it doesn't affect them. But like they work
in like a record store.
Yeah, I mean there's still record stores now for some
reason. No, for sure. But you know what I mean? It's just like it just felt like
it was a weird mix of times.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. You know what I mean?
A lot of different time.
Like what kind of TV did he have? He had a box TV. You see what I'm saying though?
That one
in the Big 2-6, you have a box TV.
I could only accept that because it's like maybe
because
that's
this is
his
grandma's house. But you would have a TV, dude. You know what I mean?
But we never see the guy watching TV. But it's weird. It's still weird though. It's still real weird.
It's like he's got an iPhone, but he's got a box TV. You know what I mean?
That is very.
It's true. Like it just feels. There's certain things in the movie that feel off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I could just be reading too much into it, but honestly, I don't think I am.
I feel like
with a movie the director, like this, it's like the director wanted you to feel uncomfortable in this world.
To feel exactly like the whole world is kind of supposed to feel a little bit uncomfortable and odd. And again, with the fact that
you ever see a customer come into the store?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Well, because like they talk about them, and I'm like, I remember we don't see them walk in, but we do see like people interacting with customers. If I'm not mistaken, I think Nikki handles one on the day after like their first whole weird thing.
Yeah.
When they go.
When she's like staring at them.
Yeah, exactly. When she's like staring at them. If I'm not mistaken, she winds up dealing with a customer during that time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely odd. How random people kind of work, especially because one kind of idea I stole this from some random person, but I think a ton of us had this idea. So, but it was basically that like there was still one last chance to fix it before going to Nikki to try to get her to make the wish. Actually,
really,
Ian just dropped $1 billion on his own head. Take $1 grand, walk outside, tell some guy, wish that Bear Bailey never made his stupid wish.
Yeah.
We're free.
Interesting. That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take. Yeah, why run away from Ian after?
Like like I said, I'll give that like Bear. He's in a freaked out place. He just watched a friend die. Not to mention, like he was never the type to like turn to people and communicate his problems to begin with. He barely made it to go talk to Ian about this. And like I said, I was kind of wondering if like there was a better way Bear could have made his pitch, because he does look like a madman, but Ian's still a terrible friend.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like just so many problems all around, man.
Yeah, I think the visual effects were done really well too.
Oh yeah, visual effects were
Like
done great.
all the gore looked good, all the
Yeah,
blood looked good,
and
all
it's like this movie had a
the
surprisingly low
lighting was
budget.
done really well.
Lighting was
Especially when she's
masterful.
standing in certain areas to make her
Like how
face
they
obscured.
how they got the perfect darkness on
Yeah,
Mickey was
yeah.
just man.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the cinematography for this, and it was really, really like, I don't know, it almost felt like an experimental version of horror, which I like.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
definitely say it felt a bit experimental.
Yeah.
And I think experiment success. Keep pushing in this direction.
I hope that there's more films in this kind of space, horror
I
genre
absolutely
space.
do. And that brings me to a thing I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time. So this is actually an idea I was thinking about bringing up in our very first episode on the podcast here. But something that I've kind of noticed because shortly before seeing Obsession, I saw Backrooms, and I actually
I've not
recently
seen
found
Backrooms yet, but yeah, go ahead.
Backrooms is pretty cool. It's good. Like I said, overhated. Definitely, I'm sorry, it's not as good as Obsession, but it's a great movie. Kane Parsons, if you're out there, I love your movie. Don't get discouraged. Keep at it. But yeah, like this was like lightning in a bottle kind of thing right here. But with Backrooms, Kane Parsons, like I mentioned, actually being the YouTuber behind the kind of Backrooms found footage series.
Yeah.
Obsession being by Curry Barker and Cooper Tomlinson, who I forget what their channel was called.
I think the original Backrooms photograph that was like it was in
like
Wisconsin.
Popularized it. Yeah, it was. It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I forget where in Wisconsin, but
Yeah.
it was in
It's like
Wisconsin.
Racine or Kenosha or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we
Anyway, good.
our
Sorry, I
state
just had to get
produced
that
this
out.
weirdness, and
Yeah.
as you can see.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, between those guys and actually, did you know? Have you seen Bring Her Back?
No.
Another good movie, also made by a YouTuber.
Is that a sequel to like Talk to Me?
I don't know if it's a sequel, but that's the other movie that is made by the same person.
I heard that was a banger. I heard
I
Talk
actually
to Me
gotta
was
go
really
check out
good.
Talk
I gotta
to Me.
watch that.
But
I
that
heard it
was
was really
also
good.
made by a YouTuber. I
Okay.
think I've heard them call like I don't know if it's Rucka Rucka or Raka Raka.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the same person, but I do remember at one point watching a YouTuber called Raka Raka Ali who did like he would make like rap parody songs. It was funny. Don't know if that's actually the same person, but with all of these great horror movies recently and having seen Backrooms and Bring Her Back, they all do also kind of work on this interesting angle of not being this kind of ghostly or monster jump scare
Yeah, I think
fest.
we're getting like a resurgence of good horror
Of
movies.
like good horror that just makes
Yeah.
you feel uncomfortable.
It's a new wave because I feel like in the 90s and like the early 2000s, it was like slashers that were like the new thing that was interesting because they kind of got down like the visual effects to make it look good.
And I was like riding.
Yeah,
off of,
yeah,
like,
and
kinda
then it really like 2010s to like early
you just get a
2020s
bunch
was
of ghost
really a
stories.
lot of like ghost, demon, jump scare stuff, which was
whole
really
lot of ghosts
lame.
and demons because of like Insidious.
Yeah, yeah.
And everything related to Insidious.
Yeah. That and The Exorcist and stuff like that.
Yep.
It just got kind of corny. I feel like they were making money, which is why they kept making them. But like Paranormal Activity was like one of the ones. You know what I mean? Back in the day, that was like kind of experimental and it worked. You know what I mean?
Because they were
And I
doing,
think
like,
that's kind of like what I don't want to happen. And I think that's what happened with Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity was like lightning in a bottle, like Obsession, right?
exactly.
And then
And they did. I feel
the
like it's because
AAA like
like
movies,
they did the
yeah,
concept
Hollywood.
of ghosts, but they did it with some more nuanced horror, like we're
Yes.
seeing here. And the other ones were like, okay, everyone loves ghosts right now, so you
Yeah,
started
yeah,
putting
yeah.
out ghost
Exactly.
slop.
And it was
And
all
it's like,
slop.
no,
Yes.
no.
So I really, really hope we don't get Obsession slop from now on.
Oh no!
You
Just
know
a
what I
bunch
mean?
of like movies about girls going
Yes,
insane. Oh my
yes.
god!
Because you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would
I
suck.
feel like that would suck. That would
That would
really suck.
suck.
And it would take away from what this film accomplished.
Yeah, because it's like it's not just a great movie, but it's some layered and rich commentary
Yes.
on a lot of
But it's like
very real
imagine a
problems.
film that is Obsession-esque without all that nuance.
Oh my god! I can
You know what I
only
mean? That would
imagine.
just
A
suck. It would just
ham-fisted
suck.
Obsession
Exactly,
clone would
yes.
just be nightmarish.
I think that's. I hope that's not coming, but I think it's because of how much this movie grossed.
Yeah,
Every
it's
single
inevitable.
Hollywood studio is licking their chops right now, trying to make the next Obsession,
It is
and we're gonna get
inevitable.
10 stinkers before we get a new wave.
Mhm.
I guarantee it.
You're not even wrong. Oh man. 'Cause,
But-
yeah, hopefully.
You got anything
though,
else for Obsession? We're gonna.
Yeah, hopefully, basically, between Obsession, The Backrooms, Talk to Me, and Bring Her Back, all of which are from YouTubers in like their 20s, not even far from our
Yeah.
age. Hopefully, that's what this wave winds up being dominated by, and all the the jump scare, ghost slop, whatever
Yeah.
it's gonna be, can kind of just stay under the grates. Because yeah, props to all of you guys for getting out there and doing that. We want to be just like you.
Yeah.
Not in the literal sense of copying you or any of that stuff, but we would love to just blow up off of a great idea that we pour a lot of passion to.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Random other thing. There's just so much to talk about. Honestly, oh my god. But fun facts ish. So, Indy Navarrete, the actual I don't know if it's Navarrete or like Navarrete, but yeah, sorry, you're great. Don't quite know the pronunciation of your last name.
Yeah.
So her and she was of the opinion that actually let me pose this question to you first.
Okay, good.
Do you think that if Nikki was interested in Bear, how do you think that would go?
Before she was possessed,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
Like
but,
like no wish has to be made. Like they actually try getting together organically. How do you think that'd go?
I think it works until they're not in proxy to each other anymore. I think
Oh, yeah,
the
like,
only
until
thing
she
that was
moves
holding
away.
their relation together, I think the only thing that was holding their relationship together is that they somewhat had a connection because they both felt isolated.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of like a bond of outcasts.
Happenstance.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It just felt like they were both they felt like outcasts. And she was more popular than him, but she kind of still felt alone.
Exactly. Like a lot of people liked her, but no one got her.
Exactly.
Like,
and he got her.
He didn't really let people get him.
Yeah. He got her, but she didn't really like him. But I guess if she did like him, they would have worked until she moves away, and then that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it dies as soon as she leaves.
So, it's funny. The actress Indy Navarrete, she was of the opinion that like Nikki and Bear actually would have worked out. And then Michael Johnston, the guy who played Bear, when asked the same question, like they were next to each other, he was like, "No, they wouldn't work."
Yeah, no.
Man, like, and I think I'm of that opinion. I think they would have like had a lot of common ground. Like there would have been strong foundations to the relationship. But honestly, I just don't think Bear is even ready to have a real healthy relationship.
I don't think so.
I believe that their relationship wouldn't have lasted long at all because of that. Like I see maybe even like some months into it. Like I don't think they're making it. Maybe they make a year. Yeah. With like Nikki doing overtime to try and fix that relationship.
Yeah, I think that she would have probably set the bar to a point where he just couldn't hang. And not even intentionally. I think it just would have been like
if you ask me, the guy
her personality demands someone better than him. And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He fundamentally is not enough, like to be able to like.
He's got growing to do.
Yes, exactly. He is
because to me, Bear doesn't look like he's probably ever had a relationship. I mean, he's been crushing on the same girl since at least high school.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had a relationship, and even if he had, it was not a mature relationship. It was not a healthy relationship.
They weren't significant because no one mentions them.
Exactly. So it's like he doesn't understand how like relationships work.
Not to mention the conversation in the car. He doesn't know the difference between love and romance.
Yes, exactly. I think that.
I don't think he was ready for a relationship.
Right. Which is why I think it maybe could have. But she already had like a casual relationship with Ian, which I think is more of like what she wanted to have in that time period anyway. Because like you know she's in a stage of her life where like things are changing and she's gonna be moving around anyway. So it would make sense for her to like get into a relationship that was long term anyway.
She was looking for love though. She was saying
yes, but I think that's also why she was. She mentioned that she wanted like a different like a reset.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Moving there, she would have been ready.
She realized that she was not gonna find it there, and she needed to leave.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's an invalid take. I think that's very valid.
I believe she was right. Yeah, honestly, like Nikki comes off to me as like
dating him would have been like I feel like her dating him would have been like an overly comfortable option for her character and what her character's needs were at that time.
Exactly.
She wanted something that was not comfortable. He was the antithesis of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because she either would have walked over him or he would have gotten weird.
Yeah.
But Nikki feels to me, funnily enough, like it feels like I don't know how to put it. Like when you're playing a game and there's a character who is clearly like powerful as crap.
Okay.
But because of that, you get to play as them like once throughout the entire game. That's what it feels like because it feels like she's the only character who like she's not perfect, no, but she seems the most mature and developed of all of the group. Like she's got a good heart on her, you know, like helping that random homeless guy. I don't know. She's the one of them who actually like seems like she could handle a relationship.
Okay.
Sarah probably would come like right behind her in that regard.
Funny I was gonna say I think Sarah
would probably work.
Yes.
Out if Bear could lock in. I think that Bear still needs to lock in, but otherwise I think him and Sarah could work.
I don't know why Sarah liked him, man.
Me neither. But I do think he had a way
he was an ugly
better
sweater factory, bro. Like what is going on with his fits? Anyway, but nah, bro.
I think she was like far more viable.
I agree, but I don't think that would have worked either. I'm not gonna lie. I think he had so much more maturing to do, and so much work on himself to do. I don't think he even like
because they did both kind of have that problem of just kind of pining after somebody forever, right?
Yeah. You think Sarah would have made her wish to make him like her?
Nah, I don't think Sarah.
I
I
don't think so
hope
either.
Sarah wasn't that messed
Yeah, I
up.
don't think so.
I don't think she was though.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
You think there's ever going to be an Obsession 2?
I don't. And actually, neither does the actress for Nikki. But another thing is, she also gave a hint. I forget what Curry Barker's next movie is going to be called, but she was saying be on the lookout for a scene about a girl being sent to jail about the deaths of some like 3 people.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, bro. Like, no, she doesn't.
That's
deserve
horrible.
That.
That's horrible.
That's miserable.
Because there's no way to prove it.
Exactly. Like, she's screwed in that situation unless she can either, because there's a few ideas people have had. 1, either she's still got a wish left. 2, she can get someone else to make a wish somehow. Or 3, run away with Ian's billion.
That's real. That is real. Does she know about that though? No, she doesn't know about it.
No.
Well, I guess he walked in and said he had $1 billion.
He was yelling about that.
So he got, yeah.
Bro,
She was moving like Clint Eastwood with the 30, bro. I ain't
actually,
gonna lie.
Like, the fact she hit it
Yeah,
while whipping
quick
around
draw,
like
bro.
that, like, where'd you get this accuracy from?
Bro.
If you see it hit him like in the forehead
Yes.
too. Like,
Clean.
she was crazy with
She
it,
conjured
man.
the spirit of John Marston. She's moving different.
Maybe that's the soul that got put in her body. It was like an immature John Marston. Oh man.
Arthur Morgan on the sticks. Anyway,
Oh man, dude. Just
that was
crazy
crazy.
work.
Anyway,
But yeah, we gotta stop talking about Obsession sooner or later. I could go all day.
yeah, me too. But we got a little bit of time left to talk about Maul, the Dark Lord.
Yeah. Wait, how far are we into this? Because I
At
missed the
1:30,
question.
Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Obsession versus Sinners. That's a tough one for me. I feel like those are the best 2 horror movies that I've probably ever seen.
Dude, Ryan Coogler did such a great job.
He did amazing on that. And
I'm
it's like the strengths they have are so very different too.
Obsession is a better film. Sinners is more fun to watch. I love Sinners. There was.
I want to agree, but it's like Obsession. Like, first of all, the way it just makes you twist your gut, and also
Yes.
just like, I don't know, something about the way the characters just kind of get down. It's like it's weirdly.
But
it's
man,
entertaining,
like
even though it's
Sinners
painful.
has so much soul.
But Sinners is full of soul. Like, dude, the scene of all of them like dancing and the spirits of people who dance, past,
Yes.
present, and future. I don't care what anyone says. That's one of the most beautiful scenes in all of cinema.
I think Sinners was not as creative as Obsession.
Oh,
Because
yeah, especially with, like,
Obsession
how it
is
scares
almost
you.
a first of its kind, I think.
Oh yeah, Obsession is I'd say it but definitely kind of like
Yeah.
it might just be a first of its kind. Like technically probably not, but I don't care. I'm calling it that. Like
I
it's
think
basically
the ending of
some
Obsession
control.
is better than the ending
definitely
of
a
Sinners.
much better ending. Yeah,
I
like,
think Sinners
has a cool
had to
ending.
end,
Mhm.
and that's just what it was, and it had to find an ending, and it
like,
ended.
Exactly.
And I don't think it was bad. It was just an ending.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think Obsession made a statement with its
it
ending.
made a potent statement that like again with
That
this kind
stuck
of being
with
an
you.
allegory for the ways that like men like Bear, needy, insecure
Yeah.
can kind of ruin a woman's life with this sort
Dude,
of
the horror
nonsense.
genre has been eating so good.
It has, dude. That's literally,
Anyway,
like, I had to think
yeah.
back. I'm like, because I was in my head one day, I was just glazing Obsession as I do, and I was just like, what is the last movie that like made me feel like this?
Sinners.
And I was like, well, but yeah, I thought Sinners, and then I was like, I did also see The Long Walk, and like in my head,
Dude, The
those are-
Long Walk
in my
was
head,
such
those are
a
like-
good movie.
those are like Sinners is a little bit different. I feel like The Long Walk and Obsession, to me, there's a distinct and unique appeal to me in movies that just like hit you in the feels. Like I don't really like grimdark things. I'm mostly like a kind of
Yeah.
optimistic story enjoyer. That's why I
Okay.
love so many superhero stories. I love
Yeah.
the deeper meaning to that. The kind of power of what one person can do and all that. But a story that just will take some poor soul and
Yeah.
drag them through the
Yeah.
mud. Not in like the
I prefer those stories. I hate a
it's
happy-go-lucky
artfully
story.
done.
I can't stand it.
See, not happy-go-lucky, but like
Yeah.
a story that can kind of maintain its optimism in the face of like adversity.
I like the I know what you mean.
stuff
I know
like how the
yes.
Flash is, where
Yes.
like there's dark stuff,
Yes.
but it's like we're the good guys,
Yes.
we'll prevent that.
Yes. I can appreciate that. I like
But
the
a story
feeling.
where people suffer.
I love the idea of feudalism. Like almost like you're gonna like Halo Reach's story.
Futility, yeah, like
You know what
there's
I mean?
no way to win.
Yes.
and just like what a person does in their last struggle.
I love because that is the real you. When you
Mhm.
know you're going to lose, that's
so
the
it's
real
just
you.
like, what do you do before? What
Yes.
do you do in your last moments?
Yeah, it's like it's almost it follows like the I guess like the idea of like who are you when no one's watching to the
Exactly.
maximum
Exactly.
extent. You know what I mean? It is
That's
literally
one of my
that.
favorite concepts in general.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who are you when all the
Yes.
excuses are stripped away?
Who are you when you know you've lost?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no winning. Who do you beg for your life? Do you,
Exactly.
you know what I
Do
mean?
you
Like,
fold or do you
yes,
double
exactly,
down?
exactly,
Do
exactly.
you
That's
go
so
crazy? Do you
interesting
lash
to me.
out?
Yes, and it's like there's so many interesting stories in history and in fiction that have that
scratch that
level of
itch.
like depth, dude. That is like it strips you. It strips the characters down
Mm-hmm.
to their fundamental parts, and you get to see like what they are. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes sense, but
I
it's like
absolutely
yeah.
understand.
I love that stuff because
I love that.
I feel like one of the reasons why I struggle to enjoy Superman as a character
It's
is that
because
he's a good dude that has enough power to be a good dude.
exactly that's what gets me. Like I cannot appreciate Superman as a superhero because he's not brave. This is something Lex Luthor has literally said. But you're not brave when you're not in danger.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Spider-Man could literally just get hit with a bullet and die. Scorpion could sting him. Electro could fry him. Venom could eat him. Anything could happen. He could die. But Superman is in danger maybe 10% of the time, if that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I like Superman, but it's like it's easy to go around solving all the problems when none of it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, you're the strongest guy in the room. It's super easy to have morals.
Literally, like you can't.
know what I mean?
No matter how bad you screw this up, in most of your job, you literally cannot be
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah. But you get to see a character's real morals when they know that they're not strong enough to beat whatever they're trying to overcome, and they stick to the morals or they fold against the morals. It's just so interesting. And I think
or well, like their morals kind of distort and turn.
Yeah.
In that case, because like it's like they keep them, but their whole kind of personality doesn't survive that sort of exchange.
Yes, exactly. I think there's a couple games that tackle this this like I guess notion really well. One is Red Dead Redemption 1. Dude, John Marston has to like essentially go back and like find all of the old gang members and try to help the Pinkertons track them down. It's such an interesting like look into that character because he knows the end, like the era of cowboy is gone. He's already lost. He just wants to have his family, and he doesn't even get that at the end. Anyway, that's a great story. But like something like that, something like The Last of Us, when Joel realizes that it like losing Ellie is the answer. And his morals go out the window.
No, they go straight out the window. He's
you know
done.
What I mean? That is the most interesting part. And I think like a lot of people like kind of omit that fact. Like we really love seeing characters lose.
Oh,
you know, I don't know if that makes sense. But like
no, absolutely.
Not necessarily lose physically or like lose the fight, but like lose themselves.
Exactly. We like to see the things that because honestly, in a lot of ways, obviously fiction is kind of a walk away from reality for us. And both in the sense that, you know, we leave our reality problems behind, but also in that we leave the constraints of reality behind. That's why we can enjoy watching Mark headbutt Conquest until he doesn't move anymore.
Yeah,
because,
You
know, in the real world, that's just not something you get to think about. Just finally letting all those negative emotions out and things like that.
Yeah.
Like all sorts of kind of walls come down in the world of fiction, and that's very.
I think that's some of the best writing.
Me personally,
with that,
part of why I like really dark stories is because like in a similar vein, but not so much when characters know they lose. It's that, and this is gonna sound screwed up because it's funny. I feel the exact opposite when I'm in my more upbeat stories, but it's like it feels like there's a layer of like protection or almost innocence that gets broken when something terrible happens to a character, and I feel like this kind of comes about, and sort of has its origins for me in middle school when I got into this game series called Corpse Party. I never played them, but I watched a bunch of walkthroughs. Basically, it gets wicked, dude.
Okay.
Pretty much what happens is there's a bunch of high schoolers. They're standing around telling some ghost stories in their school one night. Long story short, one of the ghost stories is real. They accidentally get whisked away into like this haunted school.
Okay.
This school ought as well be hell.
Okay.
Like it's screwed up because like one of the kind of examples of this, it's basically, obviously a lot of them die, right? And I found myself a little bit disturbed at myself, but like seriously enjoying some of the death scenes. Not because they were brutal or anything, but like because Corpse Party would get like alarmingly internal during these scenes. So instead of so much focusing in on what's happening, like a lot of the deaths, the character either can't see or hear, or like the screen will just go black for you. So you don't get the sensory detail. Instead, you just get them going through the sensations, and you kind of see their mind and their personality kind of break down as just under the weight of all this pain and anguish.
Interesting.
And that's the kind of thing that like that. It's messed up. I don't like that. I like it, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if it's good writing, it's good writing.
It's well done, man.
Exactly, yeah.
And one of the ones that really stood out, it was messed up because one of the kind of main characters, little sister comes along. Now
Mhm.
she's a middle schooler, dude,
Okay.
and like I forget, I believe, because there's a game and there's an anime. I believe it was in the anime she actually gets killed.
Oh damn.
And God, her death was brutal. And
Mhm.
like again, this is a even younger kid than these poor high schoolers.
Yeah.
And like again, you just see just like I don't know how to describe it, but just the demolition of a person, not
Mhm.
just their body, but also their mind and their spirit,
Yeah.
kind of just going. That gets me. And also kind of like the parts where it's like where something is dark, but there's something about it that's comforting, and or vice versa.
Okay.
And to me, that's kind of exemplified in the scene in Obsession, where at the end, where Bear and Nikki have that last kiss before Bear dies, because it's like the music really made it for me. It's like it's the same track that plays when they first start dating, you know, super
Yeah.
really nice, but it's different. Not the exact same track, obviously, but it's close enough. But I don't know how to put it. It's so tender and warm and comfortable, but the track itself is off in how the notes are being delivered, especially in some kind of key moments. And it's like you realize, wow, this is like maybe this is the first time since that early montage that we see Bear and Nikki, regardless of which version of them it is, they are happy together and they want to be together. They are in love with each other, but neither of them are really themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Bear has seconds to live, and look at all the violence it took to get us here.
Yeah.
And all the suffering. And so it's like it's a beautifully sweet moment, but it's terrifying and horrible.
Yeah. Interesting. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
let's close up on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll close up on a
bad,
session.
y'all.
No, you're good. We'll hop into Maul the Dark Lord. Banger, man. They cooked. I think the most recent Star Wars projects are some of the best that we've gotten. I think honestly, since Disney has taken over Star Wars, we've had a couple misses. We've had Solo, we've had the sequels. But we've had some really good shows, man. Some of the Disney Plus products that have been coming out for Star Wars have been good. Honestly, I haven't seen Star Wars Rebels yet, but I plan on watching that at some point. I heard Ahsoka was really good. The Bad Batch season 1 was really good. This kind of started falling off a little bit. The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 was really good.
Everybody, literally all my Star Wars consumption has been the original 6 movies,
which is honestly valid. Those are all the original
the original
core
story,
films.
by
Yeah,
Lucas, and everything else has been expansion. But I gotta
Yeah.
get those.
Lucas did a really good job with Star Wars. I honestly, I'm a prequels apologist. I think the prequels
I think
are
the
great.
prequels are a little bit overhated. I
think
see
they're
all the
overhated.
criticisms,
Yes.
But I have fun watching.
The
them, okay?
pacing is off. Yes, dude. Honestly, like, I know people hate. I don't know why, but like some people hate Episode 3. I love Episode 3.
I think Episode 3 is pretty cool.
Episode 3 is great. Anyway, but I actually don't. I really don't like the original trilogy that much. I like the prequels more than the trilogy. I know people are gonna grill me for this. I like the prequels more than I like the original trilogy.
Man, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. And the prequels can be a snooze fest. Honestly, Star Wars in general, especially when George was making them, could be a snooze fest. There was some snooze fest moments. I understand why people got into it as much as they did, especially with how the VFX were at the time. It was revolutionary. But it was a little bit
better than the other
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna say it's a little bit overhyped. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little overrated. The original like 6 films were a little overrated, I think. But anyway, dude, but I think some of the best Star Wars media we've gotten has come out in the past 5-10 years since it's been sold. Honestly, I think Disney has made some of the best Star Wars content, period, and some of the worst Star Wars content, period, which is crazy.
I'll give you that.
The quality is like all over the place, but the highs are highs and the lows are really lows. But anyway, in pertaining to Maul specifically, we both just watched it recently. I just watched it maybe last week. I finished it last week, and I think you finished it today.
Yeah, I literally finished it today, and I'm gonna just summarize my experience.
Okay, yeah,
with
go
Maul
ahead.
in a couple little quick anecdotes.
Yeah.
And also, I'll just give some background context. So, I enjoy Star Wars, but I'll be honest, this makes me feel like the kind of enjoyer that I criticize on almost every other media. But genuinely, I have a hard time enjoying Star Wars when a Jedi or Sith isn't on the screen or someone with a lightsaber.
Really?
I'll be honest. Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I feel like I enjoy Star Wars more when they're not involved.
Yeah, to me, if the whole of Star Wars were just a story of the struggle over the Force.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Star Wars more when it's a space western. Mandalorian season 1 was perfect.
I have to watch
Am I?
Mandalorian.
Yeah. There's not that many. Like, there's very little of the Force elements involved.
Right.
It is the outskirts of the galaxy.
Right.
The rule of law
So
is not
the
around.
Empire and the Republic aren't fighting over this land. They don't care.
Yeah. But when the
Or
the
not
Empire
Empire and
comes,
Republic, but
when the
right.
Empire comes, they come heavy.
Oh, yeah,
So
sure.
whenever if you do something
Right.
that is like enough for them to come, they will like in
your
Maul,
option.
they
Yeah.
dominate that world and
Yeah.
they won't leave. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like you have to keep your antics to a certain. You
Exactly.
can't
You
get
gotta
5
keep
stars.
quiet, bro.
If you get 5 stars, the Empire is pulling up. So you gotta chill. You know what I mean? So I think Maul portrayed that really well.
Yeah, I'd say that was actually so funny enough. There's 2 little anecdotes with Maul.
Mm-hmm.
So Maul, I started the first episode. I kid you not. That whole first scene where they're doing the robbery, I was genuinely having a hard time looking at my screen continually, and then I heard Maul's lightsaber ignite, and I just turned over, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then the scene ended, and I was like, until
no,
Maul
that's
came
valid.
back.
I
But
think it has
the
some
more-
pacing issues. I
The
give you that.
more
But yeah.
episodes went on, though, the more I found myself engaged, especially seeing Maul, like, seeing, because like I said,
His
it's
arc
just,
is so good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just been the originals that I've interacted with. So seeing the other side of Maul that I know he does have and some of the other stuff, but seeing him actually, like trying to scheme, and especially like how much this has taken from him.
Yeah,
and
dude,
how he's
I
trying to work his way
saw an
back.
interview with Maul's voice actor
Oh, yeah.
talking about his character and how they wanted to develop his character for this show, and he was talking about how Maul's perspective of the dark side is all Sidious, and Sidious is a very manipulative
Oh,
person,
yeah.
right? And so, like, Maul is trying to essentially conjure his own definition of how to use the dark side, and that looks like a more disciplined version of like what Sidious was trying to do. He was trying to kind of find a balance between, like, not really being, because he hates the Jedi, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's not
But
going to go
almost
back to the light
closer
side.
to
But
the
the
Great
best
Jedi.
version of the dark side is what he was trying to
Yeah.
get. So he's trying to meditate, but he doesn't really know how to meditate
Exactly.
as well.
It's not like he's meditating, but like not with the
Yeah.
principles of calmness. Which I don't even
Exactly.
know if that's a thing.
He has the
meditate
principles of
angry.
rage built in him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He has so many things on his chest that it's like, Maul is such a unique character. He sits kind of.
It's almost like it's like if we got to watch like Kratos try to become what he is in the Norse games.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
I think Maul was trying. Yeah, Maul's trying to be what Kratos got to. Exactly. Yes.
But he's still where Kratos was.
Yes. He's trying to take on the dark side by his own means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he has the power to do so. He has
Oh,
the Mandalorians by his side at this point.
Mhm.
He's strong enough to beat most Jedi that he
Yeah.
encounter. He can beat most Inquisitors. He can 2v1 Inquisitors. Honestly, his biggest weakness is his mechanical legs, which
Literally, because man, those just keep getting
Bro,
smacked. and
they were
screws
getting
him.
farmed,
And,
bro.
Like, literally,
They were
like,
getting farmed,
I'm
bro.
watching Maul just absolutely cook him, and then he goes, now he can't move. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
they crippled him.
yeah. But I put pain receptors in those legs anyway.
I'm like, that's what I thought, but I'm thinking maybe it's because like they're almost striking where it connects to flesh. Maybe?
Okay, yeah, maybe.
But then it happened to his knee, so it's like
Yeah. That was the Allstate guy playing the Jedi, by the way.
You know what's insanity?
Yeah.
So I'm watching that episode and I'm like, is that the Allstate guy? No way. Yeah,
I couldn't unhear it, dude. Once I heard it, I couldn't unhear it, bro. It was a lot.
You know what's funny? Because I was watching with my cousins at this time. And yeah, I said that right. And one of them was like, I think that is, and I never went to look it up, so I just kind of stopped thinking about it. But I figured it was with the voice. I believe it was when he was at Captain Lawson's son's football game, Riley's football game. Not football, whatever the heck, Star Wars ball they're playing.
lacrosse or whatever.
Yeah. It was at this game they're having this conversation, and I don't remember what Docky had just said, but he basically was saying something about, how he he was sorry this happened. He kind of gave him this word of this, and I think he just said something about someone being in good hands. And,
I feel like that had to be a nod.
I'm like, immediately after that, I just was like, as a joke, I just pretended to be like Captain Lawson and was like, I thought you said they were in good hands, bro. Like, where are these good hands they're in?
I'm not gonna lie though.
Like that.
I'm not gonna lie though, bro. He screwed up Lawson's life, bro.
Oh, he absolutely did. He ruined it.
Like they sold him.
Like, genuinely, I was kind of heated at the latter half because, like, I get it, you're Jedi with nowhere to run, but it's like, I feel like Obi-Wan, for example, would have had much more consideration for the lives of these random people who absolutely can't hang with the
Why go to
Empire's
his house when you have Inquisitors following you?
That was diabolical.
That was crazy, no?
Like, what the heck?
Where's Kitty's at? What are we doing?
You're literally sitting here talking with his child as if you don't know this man's life is about to
that
be
was
in danger.
crazy.
Like,
that was crazy.
And, like, it kind of came back to my mind. Like, again, Lawson is such a cool dude for just going along with this. Granted, he, has his own gripes with the Empire, but still, they're not gripes he can afford to act on here.
Yeah.
And instead, he's housing two of the Empire's greatest enemies. But it was kind of when they jump onto this roof in that chase immediately after the Inquisitors.
And then the
house.
gunship starts shooting at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
When Devin's like, yeah, maybe the roof wasn't the best plan, and he's like, oh, well, maybe showing up to my house unannounced wasn't the best plan.
That was insane.
And it's like he's right, you know, like they were both right. Sure, maybe the roof wasn't a great idea, but like you guys, come on. You didn't even actually lose the Inquisitors first.
Yes. Well, you know what also kind of made me mad about that?
Through the door.
That they would like get away from the Inquisitors, and then the Inquisitors just like know where they are. That was kind of like, I get there's like a force connection there, but not really. You guys don't really have a force connection.
Exactly.
Unless the Inquisitors had a connection with them prior to becoming Inquisitors, because Inquisitors are Jedi that got turned.
Fallen Jedi
yeah. So maybe they had
like
some type of historic, like,
but
I think they should have nodded to that. I think they should have had a scene where the Inquisitors.
He himself even says when Devin has her dream and she sees Maul, like that can only happen when there's some kind of connection made.
So why the Inquisitors don't have necessarily have connections with them? So how is it that they're sensing them? I guess you can sense Force users, but not to the point where you can see where they went. You know what I mean? Like
sense his own Padawan until
exactly. So I don't know. That was kind of weird to me. The Inquisitor designs were really, really awesome. I couldn't
help but call the one Reaper though.
Like, that's
just Reaper from Overwatch.
Reaper and Warden.
He was cool though. Reaper from Overwatch and Warden from For Honor.
Yeah. They look so cool though,
before
man.
The Warden thing came to mind, I was just calling him Black Mask.
Lucky.
I was like, okay, so we got Vader, Reaper, and Black Mask here.
Dude, when Vader shows up, dude.
I don't know why I expected. I don't know why I thought I would be underwhelmed by Vader showing up.
No. He never disappoints,
bro. He never disappoints. It's Vader, dude.
Yeah, dude. He just aura farms, bro. Like, he's so much stronger in the Force. It's not even close. Like,
dude, two Jedi literally, or no, it was not even two Jedi. It was Devin and Maul teamed up while they were fighting him, and both Force pushed him, and he gets pushed back like 3 feet.
Yeah.
His 3 feet. He's just
I know. Yes, bro.
He just looks back up at them like, oh,
bro,
no.
Bro, the craziest thing, and I always think of this, bro. Every time Vader's on screen, I'm like, dude, Anakin's inside of that.
Yes, like when he
That's
first
just
walks
so
up and they
crazy,
show his face,
bro.
I'm
Yes.
like, Anakin's face is under there. His gray, screwed up face is under there, and he's like this guy lost Padme. He's wondering where Luke is at.
He doesn't even speak.
He doesn't even speak.
He does not speak at all.
He has no words to say to them. And he's a full character. We see him progress from like I'm just here.
Yeah.
We see like clearly he's confident in himself in some of the scenes, and then we see him get aggravated with dealing with him.
Yeah.
And he starts hitting that classic move of his and Luke's where they just
bro,
you can't block anymore.
That is such a it's such a cool thing to see Vader do. You know what I mean? This completely overpowered Jedi. There's no technique involved. He is going to cook you.
Like literally, if you think about it, Vader is sci-fi.
It's just rage.
Voorhees.
Yes,
bro. He just takes all the rage that he's got over the last 30 to 40 years of his life, and he just takes it out on some poor fool.
And he has the strength to back it up.
Literally.
And there's no getting away from that.
Of anger.
You're done.
On your guard, bro. Hold that.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie though. I think the best handled character in fiction has to be Vader. He's never been misrepresented in any scene. Honestly. I can't think of a scene where Vader
because even like honestly I did watch Kenobi. That was one thing I saw.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah,
and I'm like,
that fight was so good,
literally,
bro.
And like the rest of the series, honestly, I wasn't the most impressed with.
Yeah.
Once Vader's on screen, everything is great.
Yes,
everything's peak again.
Honestly, yes, it really is that. Vader has.
He's really just he
has aura, bro. Like I don't know, bro.
No one. I haven't seen anyone screw up Vader, man.
Yeah, no, it's so hard to, man. Like honestly, it's kind of easy actually, but
it's easy, but at the same time, it's clearly hard because no one's done it yet.
The people that handle Vader they understand the character.
It's like I swear, it's like no matter who is writing a work of Star Wars, when Vader comes up, someone else walks into the room, and it's the same guy who's always writing Vader, and he's like, "Move,
yes,
move, it's time."
He's a character that is the strongest in the room, and he's lost everything, and that's what makes him dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He has nothing else to lose. The only thing he has left at this point in time is Palpatine. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like Darth Sidious, his role in being Darth Sidious is enforcer is the last thing that he has. He's lost the Jedi. He's lost his girl. He's lost his children. He believes. You know what I mean?
He doesn't even have.
He has
internal.
Literally nothing.
There's no motive
left.
even pushing him other than having this.
So he has nothing to say. You know what I mean?
That's the best part. Like
yes, bro.
It's not even just that he's not giving you the dignity of talking to you.
Yes.
He's probably not.
He has nothing to say.
What does Anakin have left to care to speak about at this
point? And he has an unfathomable amount of rage.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, it
doesn't go away.
Yes.
Like even, like Maul is always angry, But like he's able to stop and have these really chill conversations
Yes,
with Devin,
exactly.
which are awesome.
Yes.
But like at all times, Vader is actually angry enough to take a
Yeah,
life.
and in pain on top of
And
that.
in pain.
Yeah.
Which that probably helps him hold all the
Yeah,
time.
if
If my body were constantly screaming at me,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
probably be kind of mad.
But in canon, he's weaker because he has less of him left.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, imagine like
yeah.
full power Anakin, bro.
I forget. I heard some say, I don't remember where this comes from, but some people said that like, oh, he actually like trained so hard, he kind of compensated, not technically in terms of like raw power with the Force, but like overall danger level. He's more dangerous than he would have been if Anakin mastered everything. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Either way, like you're right. He literally has less of himself to work with the Force with, and he's still basically a moving hurricane. If he decides to use the Force on something.
You know, one of the most interesting interactions that happened throughout the runtime of the show is when Maul and Vader faced off, and Maul asks, "What are you?"
Yes,
that was so cool to me, bro.
Like because they first escape him, and literally none of them quite know what they're looking at, even though Maul even should. That's how ridiculous Vader is.
Yes.
They all are asking each other, like, what is that thing?
Yes.
What are we fighting right now?
Exactly.
And I think Daki is like a Sith Lord, and even Maul is like still like taken aback, like something.
Yeah.
That's not a normal Sith Lord, bro.
Exactly. And he at this point he doesn't know that Vader is
Anakin.
But he doesn't know that it's Palpatine's apprentice.
That's Palpatine's new apprentice.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. Which is such an interesting dynamic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because he doesn't.
Because he hates Palpatine because he got discarded for being injured. Vader got injured, did not get discarded. By the way, that's just such an interesting thing. You know what I mean? It just shows how much stronger Anakin is compared to Maul, and why Sidious wanted him. Even in his injured state, he's just stronger than Maul. It just does not matter. Man, dude, like just seeing that end scene, and even throughout the show, like the lightsaber fights are peak.
Oh man, that's why I was saying, like the moment the Jedi were on screen, if I wasn't paying attention, I started.
Yeah.
And honestly, once the Empire showed up, like there were definitely plenty of scenes that engaged me before that, but once the Empire showed up, especially, that was when I was like sitting up in my seat, like, all right, let's watch this. Because
and Two Boots had his arc of not trusting the Empire.
Two Boots, I actually like. I
came
to like him so much.
Anyway,
but I came to like him so much though.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, he's got so much character to him.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
He does.
No, Loki. I don't know what other people have said about him, but I feel like a slept-on character in that show. I don't even know his name. But Maul's pet droid he has for all this time.
Bro, he's so good. The Spybot. He's called Spybot. Yeah,
okay, that's his name. Because like he's just so many things that I find hilarious.
Yeah.
First of all, he's just like the way he talks, bro. Like at first I didn't realize he was saying actual words. And then I started listening more, and I'm like, oh, like he's actually saying stuff to people. And then I realized this dude is always talking shit.
I feel like it's got to be the same voice actor for that little dude in Transformers.
Low key.
Is it not?
You know what's funny is because like watching him in action gave me that vibe. So I'm like, why is he
the skinny, like the really skinny bot in Transformers 1?
Yeah. I forget what that dude's name was.
Yeah,
like,
I did too.
Same energy. Like this guy's just a constant little jerk.
He's so good at his job, though.
Yes, though. But that's another thing. It's like scenes will happen and it just pans away and dude's just watching. I'm like, wow, this guy he's like top tier.
Yes, bro. He's such a good droid.
And like.
Where did they get, bro?
Where did they find this guy? Yeah. He's actually irreplaceable.
Then he gets slammed by an Inquisitor.
And that man, the fact that was like Maul has seen several people die on his side by that point, but that one was
he got pissed. He was more pissed about losing that droid than his brothers.
Literally, like I saw his brothers die, which respect to the Gatling gun brother for
he jumped into the guy, the three, bro.
Literally, bro. Like first,
he said, "If I'm going, you're going."
Literally, there's so many things. There is so many things. All right, so first of all, the Gatling gun guy, right? First of all, I had to realize after a while, like, at first I looked at it and I was like, what is the point of a Gatling gun, like, laser gun?
Yeah.
But, like, this show actually made me realize the different types of laser guns and their effect and, like, how it actually is valuable. First of all, the Gatling gun, it's the same as a Gatling gun to regular bullets. He's just shooting so much more than you are.
Yes, exactly. You're just scared of it. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just
he's like ripping your cover up as
literally,
you're behind it, bro.
How many fights was he in where he's just like, oh, yeah? And everyone clears out. And then the green lasers that are on ships, I never got. I was like, why can't a Jedi deflect them? Maybe they're too big. And then I saw they deflect them.
They have AoE.
Yeah, exactly. Like they deflect them, but it knocks them back. You're not deflecting a combo of those.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, that's heavy duty. That's the anti-Jedi round.
Exactly.
But then, so then the Gatling gun guy, he dives the Inquisitors when they're jumping Maul under this waterfall, which was crazy.
Yeah. Gets
killed for it. And then the other brother, which I'm not going to lie, I feel like they should have done that. Like, I feel like the other brother with the dual pistols and the sword should have probably gone down there because he, you're not fighting like lightsaber wielders with a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Your weapon's too large and cumbersome.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his like range control would have been way more effective up on the bridge. But anyway, Then later on, the guy with the 2 swords goes, and he starts getting lit up, and I'm like, wow, Maul's about to lose like both his guys, and this dude goes out like a G, bro. He just starts shooting.
He started getting hit like 7 times,
yeah,
bro.
He started getting hit.
Yeah, he realized he was gonna die. He said, "I got you." Say less.
He freaking threw the kunai and hit like 3 dudes,
yeah,
dude. And then he just tackles 3 more, and takes them all to the ass. I'm like, like Maul's crew were great, dude. Like they were actually great.
Yes.
Oh,
the Mandalorians.
Oh man, the Mandalorians.
They wanted the money, bro, and then they got on the ship and just got cooked.
And they got slimed immediately. Like I thought they were gonna like just make it out of there, and it's like, oh well, I guess the ship wasn't an option. Anyway. And then then Spybot, man, when he finally gets split, and I was genuinely sad and angry, and I was like, Maul, I know you watched a lot of people die today, but I need you to get angry for this one and take some bodies.
Yeah, not for real.
And he did. He just started tomahawking people with his lightsaber.
Yeah, he was going nuts, bro. Dude, honestly, like seeing Maul fight is just so cool. Like he like
I love watching him in action.
You know, he's not the strongest force wielder, but he can hang with 2 Inquisitors, bro.
Exactly.
Like he's just even while he's injured. You know what I mean?
And it's the fact, like at first, honestly, I believe it was his very first scene. He was just going single lightsaber, and I was like, oh, why don't they have him using the staff? And like the switching he does throughout the show. At first, I was honestly asking myself, like, is there a point to doing anything but the saber staff since he mastered it? But he goes from saber to saber staff to dual sabers, and he's using them all to maximum efficiency. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop questioning Maul. He clearly knows what he's doing. He's like passing them between to him and Devin and whatnot. Yeah, I think he hand one to Donkey at one point.
Maybe no, I don't think so. He handed one to Devin when she got her sword knocked away, and that was that was intentional.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was intentional. He wanted her to have the red saber.
The red one. Exactly.
What do you think about Devin's arc throughout the film or throughout
I actually
the
enjoyed
show?
That one
I think
lot.
it was great.
Yeah, at first I don't know.
It was a little predictable, but it was good.
It was very good though. It was still very well done, and honestly, I like what they both bring out of each other. Like the scene that really like had me like, okay, this is gonna be something worth watching was when Maul first. Like
when they had the little meditation.
He has the tea and stuff.
Yes.
And he just talks.
And then he cuts the lights, bro.
Yes, dude. There was so much crazy stuff in that scene.
Yeah.
Like for starters, Devin being a young Jedi doesn't trust the Sith, obviously, former Sith or not, whatever.
But her beliefs are being tested in this time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And he does a really good job.
Because post Order 66, if you're a Jedi, your beliefs are being tested. At all times.
Exactly.
And especially Devin's here because her master, he's cool, and I kind of realized like
she was already morally great because she stole.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, okay, we know that she does believe in the, but it's just what she was brought up into. You know what I mean? She believes in the Jedi way, but she's not gonna die for it.
Exactly.
She's not gonna starve for it.
Exactly. Like the dogma's not so ingrained in her as it is like a master, like Daki is, for example. And also, like obviously, you got the short green guy, so he's a bit of a Yoda stand-in there.
And I think Maul does such a good job of portraying to Devin the weaknesses of the Jedi way.
Exactly, because it's like he's trying to corrupt her, yes, but like Maul,
he's right in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
Yeah. The fall of the Jedi was complacency. Yeah. It was them falling, being so rigid with their way.
Yeah, he wants her to be his apprentice, but genuinely, you can see the difference between the kind of Sith he is and the kind that Sidious is.
Yes, exactly.
He's not just, I'm gonna just make all this crap up, and you're gonna become loyal to me, and then I'll.
Do you think Maul actually cares about her?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Now I do think that there's still like. Either one of them could be Sith about it at the end of the day. One of them could betray the other. But I do actually think there's a genuine bond there, and I think that Maul actually probably won't.
Do you think Maul considers himself a Sith?
I don't think he does anymore, especially considering like the rhetoric he gives about like it's not just good and evil anymore. Yeah, that's just all I know to call the guy.
I think that Maul does not consider himself to be a Sith anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so. He wants to call his side of the Force.
I think
not like the dark side, but like the shadow side.
Exactly, I agree.
But yeah, like there's a few kind of standouts when he invites her for some tea. First of all, it was just funny to just hear him invite someone for tea at all. Just hearing the words out of his mouth was funny. Yep. But then I forget exactly what she says, but he's like, "Is that what you want, to see me be the person you think I am?" And then he's like, "I'm capable."
Yeah,
I'm like, he could his lightsaber's right there. He could really just pick it up and get wicked.
Yeah, you're cooked. Yeah,
you don't want to
win that fight. You're not winning that fight.
Literally.
And Devin's kind of nice, but she's not being Maul. She's kind of nice.
She is actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna be buns. I thought she was gonna be a liability. No, she can hang.
She can.
Even with Inquisitors.
I almost wonder if she's like older than she looks, because like she looks like decently.
I know what you mean. Yes, I feel like in the show, I think she's maybe 19. You know what I mean? Like
at first I was thinking like a young teen.
I'm kind of getting like
she's got to be like pushing adulthood, because she's actually surprisingly resourceful and reliable.
Yes,
and can absolutely fight.
Yes, she got hands.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, and she has like she has rage too.
She's got some anger.
You know what I mean? Like when she
does.
taps into her like rage, she gets strong. Like
She
you know
used
what I
to
mean?
doing stuff because I forget.
She's
I
not
believe
weak
it was,
sauce.
Yeah, it was when she was fighting Reaper the last time. I forget what she did. It was, I mean, because she did a couple of kind of like not Vader's, like not the same as Vader, but she did do a couple of, just like
Yeah. She really, yeah,
here.
exactly.
And then of course, she gets like a dash on his knee or something, and he takes a hit, and he just turns and runs down the stairs.
Yeah.
And he
realized that this is not what you
Literally.
want. Because I think Maul was correct in assuming that the Inquisitors and Vader assume that they're going to play like Jedi. They're going to play
Yeah, no,
passive.
he was
They're
absolutely
gonna try
right.
to
Like the
run.
Inquisitors,
You
part of
have
the
to
whole
play
reason-
offense against them.
Yeah.
They won't expect it, and they will start losing.
Literally, you've got to fight not like a Jedi because
Yeah.
this is all they're trained to do, especially because most of the Inquisitors tend to, on average, be weaker than, Master Jedi.
Yeah.
They tend to actually, like, we established, be younger
And they were
Jedi,
Jedi,
Padawan or
so
something.
they were
Exactly.
trained the same way. They know everything that
Exactly.
you're going to do.
And that's even part of the, like, philosophy behind their weapons. That's why they have unconventional
Yes,
sabers, because
exactly.
Jedi don't know how to
Yes,
fight
it
that
counters
kind of crap.
that exactly. Yeah, the spinning blades. It counters that saber.
Exactly,
Yeah.
all sorts of madness. And I mean, look at the Inquisitor playbook. They always come in. They're like, "You're Jedi. We're gonna threaten some people. You're gonna come out. You're gonna give yourself up,
Yeah.
and we're gonna jump you crazy."
Yep,
That's
yep.
also why they jump so much, because they anticipate fighting the stronger Jedi.
Yeah.
The stronger honor-bound Jedi who will let their Padawan run every time.
Yep.
Which another thing, as to like just to speak to how different Maul really is here, is like how many times Maul is actually willing to like turn to Devin or even Docky, because I'm like, Devin, I get it, you want an apprentice, but Docky, I thought he was gonna screw that guy over at the first chance. Granted,
He
screwed
did.
him over.
I was gonna say at the end he left.
But like, for example, when they're kind of by that vat of acid, he actually tells Docky like, "Go before me," and that was.
I think that was just to gain his trust, though.
It could have been. It definitely could have been.
I think that was a manipulation tactic.
Could have easily been.
I think that Maul knew he had a way out, and I think that he wanted Docky to feel more trusting about letting Devin be around Maul and traveling together, and then that was eventually setting up the betrayal.
Yeah,
I think.
Force pushing him back towards Vader.
That was crazy.
Simply diabolical, bro.
That was so
Simply
diabolical, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm
Like,
Vader, bro, I'm like,
it's like-
dang, bro. Like,
no, bro, like, if I'm
he
Vader,
sold you crazy.
Aside from all the rage, I'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's your man? All right, that's kind of fucked
so
up, dog.
crazy ISO,
That
crazy
is
ISO.
Screwed, bro.
Yeah. I knew Maul wasn't gonna die in this show because
Well, yeah, of course.
yeah,
'Cause he has a canon death. That's
yeah,
not
in
yet.
Kenobi, in the was it Rebels?
I don't know, but I just know it's a really cool.
I saw the
like,
scene though.
rematch
I saw
with
the
him and
scene. It was so
Kenobi.
tough, bro.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen that show. I do want to watch more Star Wars content. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen
Yeah,
some.
I've
I'd say
got
I've
to
seen
get into
most
the
of it.
animated
But
shows. The animated shows are really just a cut
yeah.
above.
Some of them kind of fall. Like I heard the
Oh,
Bad
yeah.
Batch kind of fell off a little bit. It kind of turned into some slop. But I do want to watch all of the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I know that adds a lot
Yeah.
of context to
Clone Wars
3
and
and it
Rebels. I've
fixes a
heard
lot of
like
canon things.
what you need.
Yeah. But it's long, man. It is a kid show, so it's like it's kind of hard to get through that stuff for me. But it's okay. I will thug it out, and we're gonna talk more Star Wars
I feel
later
like
in the
those are
pod.
going to be kind of kid shows, sort of along the lines, not the same, but like Avatar.
Yes.
Where it's like it's a kid show, but like
Yes.
this show treats
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
like
yeah.
people with
I
develop
agree.
like brains who can
I
handle
think
morals.
Clone Wars gets that way. It
Yeah.
starts off very
Yeah,
like
exactly, and
episodic.
it
It was
matures.
on Cartoon Network,
Mhm.
but and then
It's
it
one
kind
of those
of
shows that
gets
grows up with
into
you.
yeah. Dude, the last seasons, dude, get like heavy.
That's
on
what
it.
I've heard, because
Exactly.
you get Anakin's fall happening, and then Rebels.
Yeah.
I forget exactly, but I do know towards the end of that one they are fighting against Inquisitors, so it's kind of picking up after
Yep.
Clone Wars. Oh yeah, because the titles, it goes from the Clone Wars to them being Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I like the Stormtrooper designs because it's kind of halfway between like what the Old Republic was and what
Yeah.
Empire is coming into. And this you kind of get that in between because they went through many iterations before they get to Stormtroopers.
Oh yeah.
For the armor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it goes from Clone Troopers to Stormtroopers, and they kind of have like an in between right now. It looks so cool to me.
That is
I like how Maul fights them.
Oh yeah.
He just aura farms. He honestly just aura
does,
farms.
like-
they stand no chance, and he knows it. You know what I mean?
Literally,
Like,
man.
they're just getting cut
The
down
stuff
crazy.
that Maul does in his
Yeah.
fights, like I don't know. Yeah, the way that like in the show, any of the Jedi, but especially Maul, it's like they're a special class unit on a battlefield.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Everyone's shooting and stuff like that. And honestly, I really thought that like the gun characters were kind of gonna get trivialized with the Jedi around, but
They
like, they
didn't.
actually do
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they
It's
do.
like it feels like it's kind of hit this really nice balance of like the Jedi are in fact objectively more powerful than everyone else here, but they're not invincible.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And they can get distracted, and they can get
distracted,
overwhelmed.
They can get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
All sorts of things, or there are like natural forms of weapons that it's like, could they probably take it down? Yes, but it could also just as
Yeah.
easily catch them unawares because it's like a heavy armored vehicle and they're still a guy. You can still got flesh you can blow up.
Yep. And you know what's really interesting in the game, Jedi Survivor, Cal Kestis uses a you can use a blaster and a sword.
Oh yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I think that's really cool.
I gotta I gotta finish the games too.
I finished Fallen Order, great game. I did not finish Survivor. I started it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't bad. It had a lot of performance issues on PC on launch, and I played on PC, so I was gonna wait until they fixed it. And then you know me, if I wait on a game I'm not going back. So I
started Fallen Order, but you guys are about to learn one of my biggest pet peeves in games. I hate when games make you find your way into a place and then find your way back out. Like, bro, I already did all this to get here. Just give me a path back. Let me retrace my steps backwards or something.
He genuinely got stuck in the Jedi Temple.
I did. I forget. It was some planet with a Z. And I found my way in, and they wanted me to find my way out, and it had to be an entirely different way. And I not only did I get stuck, but then I just lost my patience and was like, all right, bro. It makes me mad, okay? I did the work to get here, now let me out.
I wish I could just put up, like, I think in post I'm just going to put up the speed smiling, bro. Get so goofy. He got stuck.
Care, bro.
He got stuck.
I don't care, bro.
The puzzle was too hard. Get so goofy.
You guys should know I actually am good at these kind of things normally.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's just the patience, bro.
Anyway.
Hey, which one of us is actually like beating Elden Ring, went through all the DLC? Yeah.
Conveniently, Elden Ring doesn't have any puzzles. Oh, it does, but it's
like
the
have
turtle
puzzles,
ones.
You doofus.
The turtle. You looked them up. Shut up.
I didn't.
I know what you are.
Screw you. I'm an Elden Lord, is what I am.
But yeah.
Let me see. I feel like there's other puzzle games I've beaten, but whatever.
Yeah. We're going to wrap up Maul here because we are coming up on time. But yeah, so what's your final verdict on Maul? What would you give it out of 10?
Surprisingly good. I enjoyed that. I didn't think, like, Maul to me at first was just like, okay, he's cool because he's got a two-sided lightsaber.
Yes.
But like this show actually made me like, wow, Maul is actually a really
it added a lot
cool
of context to his character, yeah.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, I like Darth Maul now. I'm officially a fan.
What's your verdict out of 10?
Out of 10. I'll give it like a 7.8 because, like I said, I genuinely had a hard time with the earlier parts until a Force user showed up.
Yeah, that's real. I would give it a little bit.
A bit of a me thing.
Yeah.
Westerns fella.
I was gonna say I'd give it a little higher than you. I'd give it an 8, maybe 8.5. Considering some things, I really liked Lawson. I like Two Boots as a character.
Yeah, Lawson and Two Boots were great.
I didn't really like the whole thing with Lawson and his. I think they
Lawson's
did.
Friends like his connect in the kind of criminal underworld.
Yes, yeah. She was really cool. Yeah.
Let me see. I guess kind of that. Oh, also, dang, I'm forgetting his name. Little short alien guy. He was fun.
Yeah. I forgot his name too. He's really cool. I like him.
Yeah, I like him.
He's like the little mob boss or whatever. He's really cool.
Yeah,
but like I think one of the small misses of this is like the whole thing between like Lawson and his son was a little too prominent in my opinion. I get why they were trying to do that, but I think there was other things we could have focused on in the show.
I do think there was other things we could have focused on.
I think that like that was one of the less interesting things, especially because like you don't really know the dynamic between. You get context with like what's going on with like Lawson and the mom and stuff like that, and the son, and like him not really being able to spend time with his son. And I get it. I don't know. I feel like that either like flesh that out or like kind of
you
know what I mean?
Like,
I feel like they kind of wanted to and they didn't.
Exactly. Kind of wound up in this weird 50-50 place with wanting to do that and other things.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing, early on in the show, one thing that did actually kind of grab me and I thought was cool was how it's like, well, we're bouncing back and forth between Maul and Lawson at first, and it kind of feels like I don't know. It was cool to see. It felt like in a typical series, right? It's like, okay, we're learning about Maul's underground doings, and Lawson's kind of trying to investigate and find out what's going on. It was cool to kind of see like unraveling the villain's plot.
Yeah.
When the villain's actually the main character of the series, and it's like they're slowly unraveling his plot, and we like I don't know, Maul's our main character. We've been following him all along, so it's cool to see another character kind of like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to put it. It just felt really interesting in the moment and really nice.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, yeah. Before we end out on this segment, I was just gonna ask you, what's your favorite character in the Maul series?
Honestly, as much as that's a hard one to say because it's like there's a bunch of characters for minor reasons. Like I said, I really enjoyed Spybot and Two Boots, but like honestly, I also liked and now I'm really not giving myself not doing myself a favor here by saying Maul's kind of like female second in command. I don't remember her name, but she was pretty great too.
Yeah, the Mandalorian. Yeah. I forgot her name too, but yeah, she's really
But
good.
yeah, it definitely would come down to, I'm thinking between like Maul, Devin, and Lawson. Definitely one of those three. Let me see here. I might have to give it to, I don't know, because I want to say either Maul or Devin ultimately, just because they were actually able to surprise me more as characters, kind of who they were and where they were going.
Yeah.
Like, with Devin, I did see coming, like, you know, the whole shift towards the dark side and kind of how that was going to go.
We saw it coming up.
But there were still twists and turns along the way that was like, oh, okay, like, it wasn't. I
yeah,
felt like
there was plausibility of her not.
Exactly. I felt like she was either gonna like I could have seen her just like no and just rejecting Maul's view and actually coming to just fight him by the end of the show, which is kind of something I thought might happen at some points. But then I also initially I thought she was gonna like just kind of fall for a hook, line, and sinker. But it's like no, Maul actually makes a good case and she really engages with it. And it's like I don't blame her for seeing it Maul's way.
I don't blame her either.
Especially considering it did in fact save her life.
It did, yes.
And it might have saved Docky's as well.
Yeah.
Had he done that.
Exactly, yeah. I think my favorite character is probably Lawson. And I didn't think the writers were gonna have the gall to kill him at the end, bro.
I didn't think they were gonna kill the characters they did. Well, Docky, I wasn't surprised about. But
Lawson, of course, we knew Docky was gonna die. Yeah. Docky had to die for Devin to turn, and I think like Maul kind of framing it in a way of like Vader killed him, so now she's on a revenge quest. Yeah, that was such a good manipulator, which also speaks to his character. But anyway, yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. One more thing. I see how like Docky. I mean, obviously because he's a Jedi master showing similar beliefs. Little green guy, kind of the stand-in for Yoda. But I also wanted to know how he even kind of is in like the combat sense. He's not nearly as fast or powerful as Yoda, but it's like he actually does even use the same lightsaber style. At one point, I had all the lightsaber styles by name, and I kind of knew them and what they did. But I know his and Yoda's form is called a Taru, and that's kind of the one that small Jedi use.
With a shorter lightsaber,
Exactly. Shorter lightsaber, and they're doing a whole lot of acrobatic maneuvers. Docky, if I had to guess, his species isn't as long-lived as Yoda, so he doesn't keep his physical strength as long. Because he wasn't doing as much acrobatic stuff, but you kind of see him doing like the similar hopping, spinning maneuvers, and then, of course, occasionally like flipping clean over his opponent to keep on fighting them from another angle.
Yeah, he was really cool.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
And I was trying to... I forget Maul's forms. Obviously, he's kind of switching because he's switching whole combat styles. But I was trying to remember what Devin's form is called, because I just remember her.
Yeah, that was the same one that Obi-Wan used.
I was gonna say, I think that's.
I think it's Form 4.
I'm trying to think. That might be it actually, and that might make sense.
It's like a very defensive.
Exactly, because and like in a lot of situations, now that I think about it, she was kind of like. She surprised me with her ability to stall against multiple attackers, especially.
Yeah. I thought she was getting overrun by those too, but she did.
Exactly. While like Maul or Docky were kind of occupied with Vader or a ton of guys with guns or whatever, and that form would make sense for that. I believe it's called like Sarisu.
Yeah.
That one would make sense for her having such good defenses, especially because like she was good at offense, but she wasn't like landing crazy.
Right. Yeah. She only really started landing when she was mad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she could definitely hold her own and not get killed. So. Give her props for that.
No, for sure. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for tapping in. Feel free to let us know what you think in the comments. We're always open to
engage all sorts of discourse about obsession and Maul in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna come at you with another episode.
What lightsaber form do you think Nikki would use? No.
Actually, oh my god.
No, better.
That's so cursed. That's so cursed.
In the comments. Defend me. Tell me that you guys saw what I saw too with the shot in the with the eyes when she was saying she knew he had feelings.
That was not.
Tell
hitting,
me I'm not
bro.
crazy. Come on.
That was not.
Come on.
That was
not
kinda, hitting, bro.
Like
I know what kind of man you are.
Before the craziness, all I'm saying is that's not unreasonable. That's not an unreasonable thing to like.
Well, we'll see you guys next time, guys.